The USS Mason had been targeted in a separate incident. No confirmation yet from the U.S. military on the fate of the crew after a U.S. Air Force Osprey crashed off the coast of Japan. One witness reporting an explosion before it fell into the sea.
The Osprey was carrying 8 crew in total. We're told it was performing a routine training mission at the time of the incident. There have been 6 confirmed fatal crashes involving U.S. military Ospreys since 2012, causing at least 20 fatalities.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. For now, search and rescue efforts continue. Several big tech executives will testify before Congress about sexual exploitation of children online. The Senate Judiciary Committee says the CEOs of Meta, X, TikTok, Snap, and Discord are due at a hearing that's now set for January 31st. America is listening to Fox News.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-887-1010. That's 800-887-1010.
Born from the tragedy of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is committed to helping our nation's heroes and their families in their darkest hours. They provide mortgage-free homes for fallen first responder families, Gold Star families, and catastrophically injured veterans and first responders. In 2023, they are providing housing assistance and services to more than 2,000 of America's homeless veterans. Do good and never forget 9/11 or the sacrifices made by our nation's heroes. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis, sidekick producer and sports raconteur extraordinaire, and the mechanical mangler at the controls. We call him Flounder. Look out. Here we go.
On the day I was born, this is all gathered round.
It's Humpity Hump Day, 303. With a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Here's a phone number. We love phone calls. We got stuff might want to get your reaction today. 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Pete Davis in the mountains of Macon. What's going on with you this fine afternoon, sir?
Well, we're thawing out while you two were enjoying a balmy 28 degrees last night.
Yeah, it was. I think it went to like 29. Actually, it was a little warmer than.
Yeah. We had 14.
Yeah, well, in fact, the text I got last night on my phone said the following. Pete, it's going to be 14 degrees here tonight. And I replied, you need to get you a winter woman. And Pete replied back, well, that's like a weekend woman, but only more expensive. Can you rent that? Can you sign up for those? Or I mean, shouldn't there be a website if you're a guy and you're looking for just a girl to hang around with for the weekend or something? There ought to be some kind of website or something. I would think. I'm just spitballing. Just spitballing.
Or maybe just go down to the bus station and hang around.
I actually did it. No, never mind. I was going to talk about a story I did once many years ago, and a girl tried to hit him at the bus stop. And I almost, in fact, it was on TV. It was many years ago, and I was doing a story on runaways or not necessarily homeless, but street kids, street youngsters, young people, and I'm on the sidewalk, and the crew had gone home, and I was getting ready to pack up or something, and one of the girls came up to me, and I guess this was their trick. She whispered. She came up and says, I wonder if you could tell me. And I said, well, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. And I leaned in closer. That's how they get you. You lean in closer, and all of a sudden, she's right on top of you, and she wanted me to take her home. And frankly, I thought about it, but the other thing was I knew she was going to date, rape, drug me, and take all my stuff and probably kill me, leave me on the side of the road. So I said, hell no. This is back, in the 80s when there was a little more flexibility and that kind of thing.
Well, still, you probably weighed the benefits against the negatives on that.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I was single. She was, come on. So I thought about it, but I was scared to death. It's like I would never do one of those, a back page, was it, where you sign up to meet some chick in a hotel room? Yeah. And then her boyfriend's in the closet. Anyway, 306. All right, that's silly. By the way, we have a bunch of weird things coming up on the program today, including I never talked about what's going on with my stupid phone. I've got to get a new phone. This is absolutely ridiculous. But I signed up for that stupid, automatic update thing. When I go to bed and it says, "Oh, your update ready," so I plugged it in, and the next morning I have my updates, and everything's screwed up now. In fact, Pete, when Pete called me around 2:00 this afternoon, let's go over exactly what happened. Pete, cue yourself to what happened when you hit the phone, and then I answered.
Oh, well, the first thing, and I get it every single time, the first thing I hear is a curse word. And not just a normal damn or dang, but just...
This damn stupid...
And it's every single time.
Yes, it is. And you said, just once, I would like to be able to call you, Kimmer, and not have you screaming swear words in my ear when they answer the phone. Well, the problem is the app on this thing for my stupid ear rockets, and now with the new settings last night, or the other night, a couple nights ago, all of a sudden now when the phone rings, I have like 7 different little doodad things on the bottom of the screen that I have to look at to see how to answer the phone. Whether it's, now it's got like text or phone or, and then I have to hit the app to go whether directly into my ear rockets or on the speaker. I mean, it's a nightmare. Every time they do an update, it does not make it easier. It makes it worse. I now have, for some reason now, in the evening time, I noticed last night when I started answering texts and stuff, and now the screen's dark. And then when you answer the text, it goes back to light again. I mean, all of a sudden, everything's different. It's just everything is different. Well, I don't want everything different. And it's not easier. It's like 2 extra steps.
The one thing you can do is get away from Apple. Get an Android.
Well, I don't even know what that means. I know.
Why would you want to do that?
I don't know anything. I'm not
because
good.
I don't think Android does the updates and modifications and stuff like that like Apple does. I could be wrong. Mike uses an Android because he doesn't like Apple.
Well, but see, I wouldn't know the difference. I wouldn't know. I don't know what that is. One better or no one better. And by the way, we do have a phone update from a guy at AT&T, and this is really going to be cool. In fact, I'll see if I can try to do what he's suggesting. It's a tip list. An ex-Apple employee revealing game-changing iPhone hacks that nobody is using. So we'll try to see if I can figure that out. We'll do that a little bit later on. Anyway, I've had it with a stupid phone, and I've got to get my ear. Frankly, I'm a wreck, so I shouldn't talk about it because everybody will say, "Well, you feel sorry for yourself." My refrigerator broke again, and the second time in 2 weeks. So now tomorrow I got to wait for the guy to come over and do the whole freaking thing again. And my eyes are gone, my hearing, my ear rockets are gone. Electrical issue has fried my a couple of electrical systems, including some buzzer, what do you call them, smoke alarm things, and my security alarm thing. It's unbelievable. It's like there's 9 different things going on, and they're all horrible. and I have a toothache. And I have a toothache. And it's going to get worse because I'm pumping. I took like 12 Advil a little while ago, and then before that I took 17 Tylenol. So I'm okay right now. I'm just going to see if it'll just go away by itself. And if that doesn't work, then I'll take like most of the guy things.
Clayton's on the line. He wants to talk about phone updates.
Excellent. In fact, we'll do that little really some funny stuff. And incidentally, our number again 404-741-1230 1230 if you'd like to join us. To the phones, Clayton. Welcome aboard. Happy Hump Day, sir. Glad you called. What's up?
Hey, I'm with you on these updates. I figure they're just putting more stuff in there to spy on you.
Yeah.
And today, I turned on my TV at the house, and it said, "Oh, we updated your TV for you." I go, "Uh-oh."
Really?
So it takes a while. It spins and spins. Finally, it comes up. And now it's like you. I have to go through an extra couple of steps to get to my regular DirecTV screen that I usually use. And on top of that, now they moved the volume where it used to be pretty easy for me to see at the bottom. Now it's a little bitty round thing up at the top. All these things that I don't want, I didn't ask for.
Yeah.
So I generally turn down updates on my phone, especially because I figure that's just, more TikTok kind of junk.
Yeah, I mean, Clayton, I appreciate it. Again, I know I'm not alone in this. Listen, and by the way, Father, what was it the other day? Something happened. The first thing happened on my stupid phone. Oh, everything was silenced. All of a sudden, it said, "Do not disturb" on the bottom of my phone screen. I said, what the hell does that mean? And then I couldn't answer it. I didn't know if anybody was trying to get a hold of me. In fact, I missed my granddaughter, Miss Molly, texted me. She let her borrow a new phone. She gets to do texting a little bit now with her family once in a while. Just kind of starter phone kind of deal with a little kid. Anyway, and I almost missed it. And I thought, where the hell did this come from? I didn't set that up.
You didn't set it up, but you probably hit something that.
But again, and I said, what do I do now? And they said, well, you go into I even YouTubed it. I swear to God.
All you do is you press down on the top right corner.
Well, it didn't say, the YouTube didn't say press down in the top right corner. It said press down on the top of the screen. So I pressed down in the middle of the top of the screen, and it opened up like 4 little things. And then so Flounder comes in, and I said, this son of a bitch doesn't work. It's damn such a fuss. And he said, no, it's up here in the corner. I said, well, then why didn't they tell me that? And I spent like 3 days not knowing how to fix my phone because I should have done it from the top right corner instead of the top middle. Now, what kind of crap is that? And by the way, how am I supposed to know that? Nobody told me that until Flounder did. So I went like 2 or 3 out the whole weekend. I couldn't answer. I didn't know whether somebody's trying to get a hold of me. And because nobody told me top right corner. I mean, this is ridiculous. And again, I'm not, I'm an educated man. but how are you supposed to figure this out?
Are you?
Apparently not. I guess I'm wrong. Really? I guess that master's degree doesn't mean squat.
Where'd you get that from?
Yeah, well, I got a straight A average too, Mr. Michigan State University.
Okay, I was going to wait till tomorrow to do this, but I'll tell you since you're talking about it. We corresponded by text last night. I'm trying to find it, in me and Kimmer did. And at one point you answered a question, but before you did that, I got a voice text from you.
Now, see, I don't know anything about that either. Where did that come from?
I didn't even think you knew how to do it, so I sat there and listened to it.
Is it just him breathing?
No, it's worse. It's 38 seconds of what sounds like water running. And at first I thought, oh, my God.
Well, oh, my
God, he's in the bathroom. But no, it turns out it's obviously you are cooking something or washing something in the sink, and you got the water running, and you're humming in the background. You're throwing dishes around for 38 seconds.
Well, I don't use my dishwasher because it's all plugged up.
Here it is right here.
I'm washing out my coffee pot to make coffee for the next morning.
You're taking a whiz.
Or cleaning a bong. I don't know. It could be either one. I don't know what that means.
All right.
Well, and by the way, I just opened up your text, and son of a gun, on the Pete just sent me a thing, and it said, Fox did a story, gave you money about girls night, da-da-da. And then I looked on the message bar, and on the far right corner of the message bar, there's a microphone.
Yeah.
Now, who turned that on? Does that mean if I get a message that's on suddenly?
That's probably what you hit. On the break, I'll come in and take a look at it and show you.
I said, again, where the hell did that come from? I didn't do this. Oh, my God. Well, thanks for telling me. I hate this. 314. I don't want to do this.
The Morning Extra is the right way to start your day. And here's what you missed.
Biden's 81.
Yeah.
He's already living on borrowed time. Really? I mean, think about it.
It's a grueling job, both mentally and physically. This man can't do the job. He's proven to us every single day that he can't do the job. Things are going to get worse.
The Morning Extra, now every morning from 6 to 10 a.m., only on Extra 106.3.
Step into the great outdoors with Realtree. Hi, I'm Bill Jordan, and I'm here to tell you about the incredible experiences that await you and your loved ones. Nothing brings families and friends closer than the great outdoors. At Realtree, we've dedicated ourselves to creating quality products and experiences that enhance your outdoor lifestyle. And did you know, Realtree is proudly based right here in Georgia. Our roots run deep here, just like our passion for hunting, fishing, and everything outdoors. Whether you're an experienced hunter or a novice angler, Realtree has everything you need to make your outdoor adventures a success. From an assortment of gear and apparel to expert advice and tips, we've got you covered. Visit Realtree.com to discover a world of possibilities. Whether you're planning your next hunting trip or looking for the perfect fishing spot, Realtree.com has all the information you need. Realtree helps you connect with family and friends and make memories that will last a lifetime. Realtree, family, friends, and the outdoors.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, right here on Extra 106.3, Atlanta's all-conservative talk station. Each Saturday and Sunday at noon, you can catch my show, where we talk about all the issues, local, national, and global. If you miss an episode, you can catch all my content at the Podcast Park, where I put out new episodes of the Ben Burnett Show on Tuesdays and Thursdays, featuring long-form interviews with the people who create your perspective. Thanks for listening to Extra 106.3, Atlanta's all-conservative talk station. See you around, Atlanta.
True Prep on Cobb Parkway is your one-stop shop for emergency preparedness supplies, including freeze-dried food, water filtration, first aid, and more. They also have a large selection of firearms, including a huge selection of AR-15s, firearm accessories, and ammo at the lowest prices around. They are locally owned and operated. You can visit their store in Marietta on Cobb Parkway or online at trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow at True Prep.
Jim the Arcus here with exciting news. The All Four Seasons Home Show returns to Atlanta Radio this Saturday morning at 9, bringing you advice and tips from some of Georgia's top business owners. Join Dan Watkins and myself when we will be helping you make smarter purchases, save money, and keep from getting ripped off. That's the All Four Seasons Home Show every Saturday morning at 9, right here on Extra 106.3.
Tomorrow night, Extra 106.3 brings you Atlanta's exclusive coverage of the great red versus blue state debate between Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and California Governor Gavin Newsom. Hosted by moderator Sean Hannity. Our exclusive coverage hits the air at 9 p.m. live on Extra 106.3 and streaming live on the Extra 106.3 app.
317. Well, flounder fixed by lack of knowledge situation here on this stupid new update app thing on the microphone on my texting. Good Lord. We'll do that phone thing, the updates on that for you. And in fact, we'll do a few at a time. I think he gave 6 of them. Maybe in a little while we'll do a couple, and then we'll do a couple every hour to let you know, kind of keep track with a guy who used to work at AT&T who's got unknown hack tips for using your phone, and we're going to see if we can train me on it. Anyway, 318, Leonard Skinner here, the former drummer Artemis Pyle. On this day in 2007, the convicted sex offender Artemis was arrested for failing to properly register a new permanent address. He was 59 years old, pleaded guilty in 1993 to charges of attempted capital sexual battery of an adult on a victim younger than 12 and being principal to lewd and lascivious behavior on a child younger than 16. He got 8 years of probation. And he got arrested for not failing to register. And again, we had one of the guys from Leonard Skinner was our boat mate with Wayne No Offense and I, or with Wayne No Offense and me, at Lake Allatoona for a while. And they had to kick him out because he had a habit of just throwing his garbage overboard rather than putting it in the various places where it's supposed to go. Anyway, he was a great guy, though, and we had a lot of fun talking to him once in a while. Okay, 318, almost 319. Birthday list, Kathy Moriarty. Remember the movie Raging Bull? Vicky LaMotta. Now, she scared me. I had no interest or was turned on at all by her. She scared the crap out of me. She just seemed like a big, bruising, tough chick.
Oh, no, she was like a throwback to Veronica Lake in the old 1940s.
Well, Marilyn Monroe and Mamie Van Doren and back to the old buxom blonde babe.
She was in a funny movie called Neighbors that nobody liked because of Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi switched roles, where Aykroyd was the crazy one and Belushi was the straight man, and I love that movie. It's a funny movie.
I know of it. I never saw it. She was also Robert Downey Jr.'s girlfriend, Montana Moorhead, in Soap Dish, which I don't know about. But Kathy Moriarty was in Raging Bull. Vicky LaMotta, 63 years old, is Kathy today. Let's see. I got a lot of birthdays here today, too. Howie Mandel, America's Got Talent germaphobe, it says here. Howie Mandel, 68 years old today. I guess he's got a problem with germs. By the way, I've asked Flounder to do some, later on, not right now, but later on we have 3 musical history kind of deals for you today, which is kind of exciting. And one more quick history note here, and we get going with the actual program. On this day, 1803, the Louisiana Purchase. We bought the land from France for $15 million, but it was hardly just Louisiana. The Louisiana Purchase meant all of Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, plus parts of Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, New Mexico, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, and Louisiana. That's half the country. Anyway, 1803. So there you go. All right, now 404-741-1230 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Good to have you aboard. Okay, so and again, we got newsy stuff, and we'll do it. Oh, Swatoom wrote me a poem. Oh my God, we got all kind of stuff, quizzes and some good thing. Holy crap! At sports later, and tweets and Flounder's funnies and all kind of stuff. Now, during the break, Flounder came in. I was complaining about the phone stuff on my phone, and Pete I was live last night, I guess, on my phone, not knowing it because there's a new thing. They do a new setup on my stupid phone while I was sleeping the other night, and the new thing on here now is a little microphone image on the message bar underneath the texting face of it. When you open up your text thing on the message thing to reply, on the right of it, there's a little microphone, and I guess if you hold that down or click it, it opens up a microphone. And so, but how could I have held? I mean, the message you played that I unknowingly sent to Pete was like 30 seconds. I wasn't How could I have been holding the phone down for 30 seconds? And why did it disappear if I wasn't holding it down? I don't get any of that. Anyway, Flounder came in and held it down and sent a message to Pete. Pete, did you get his message?
Yeah, I
did. He said a bad word.
yeah, he did.
He was giving you an option to go somewhere.
And I'm sitting here going, what did I do?
He was just showing me how it worked. Now,
by the way.
Yeah.
By the way, for the first time ever, I'm coming to you live from Starlink.
All right, now that's our new thing. It's working. We got it set up.
So Pete is broadcasting from outer space.
No
right
more,
now.
and now so you're up at a satellite link and then bouncing back to me, but it's instant. There's no more delay though, right? I think.
Right. It doesn't sound like a delay. It's almost 10 times faster. Thank you, Elon Musk.
It also sounds, I think the sound's better, too, for some reason, the quality of it. Now, and pretty soon we got the whole computer screen and all kind of stuff in here, too. Anyway, so again, if you get an update, you don't know what happened. But again, why did it leave a message for that long? I could not have been holding on to the message bar for 30 seconds while I'm washing dishes. So I don't get. I mean, if you click it, it records for a while. Well, I'll click it right now. I'm going to push it. All right, nothing happened. Do you have to hold it down?
Good.
All right, I'm holding it down now.
Push it real good.
Nothing happened. How come Flounder did it? I see. I have to open it up first, like I'm going to send it. All right, now I'm going to push it, and I'm pushing it
real good.
And now it says. Oh, I see a little. I see a little, and it's printing as I speak. I see a little, and as I speak, I see a little as I speak. Oh, my God. But, all right, now let's see. All right, I'm going to stop talking, and let's see how long this goes. Yeah.
Is this really what we're doing?
No, I'm sorry. I was just trying to figure well, this is the damnedest thing. I mean, I'm sorry. Okay, now the actual show. We have an actual show, 323. Okay, get off my back. This is reality. This is this is life right here. So we're sharing.
Yes. By the way,
yes.
Later on, we need to talk about Fargo.
Oh, I watched it's on too late for me, and because I'm still doing stuff until like 10, and then I watch a little bit, and then I got to go read and go to bed. So, when you're up at 4 and 2 and 3:30. So I only watched like 10 minutes of it. So don't spoil it because I'm going to watch it when I get home tonight. But what's the update on Fargo?
It gets really weird in the second half. I mean,
oh my God,
really weird stuff, but it's still good.
Yeah,
it's just weird. And a couple other things. William H. Macy, who was in the movie Fargo, of course.
He was the star.
The Tansiera and all that stuff.
Yeah.
He's going to be at some place called the Eastern. I don't know what that is here in Atlanta. April 28th.
That's the new movie. It's a new music venue right by East Atlanta. It's in between East Atlanta and Grant Park.
Oh, so you got to go with a gun.
Oh, wow. I want to go down there.
What you're saying? Well, he's going to be
car
there.
And everything down there?
William H. Macy, and they're going to show the film, and then he's going to answer your questions about it.
Really?
Which would be pretty cool.
Show the movie Fargo?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding. So it's a discussion of Fargo. Well, cool. That'd be cool.
And during the show last night, of course, she's looking to buy guns, right? We know that.
Yeah.
Chick.
Yeah.
So she's writing her shopping list, and her husband looks at it. This is her shopping list, and I took a screenshot of it. Shotgun, pistol, revolver or 9mm, AR-15, juice boxes, Apple, cheese puffs, 12-gauge ammo, dish soap, pistol shells, mac and cheese, and lactate.
That's a great list there. I'll bet they got it all in Walmart. No, at what's the other one? Not Kohl's. What's the one everybody the
Costco.
big one? Costco, yeah. But they got it all there. And by the way, when my mother, as kids, my mother used to keep her grocery list on the refrigerator with a magnet, and she said, if you kids run out or need something, put it on the list. And so the list would be, of course, we had 5 kids. It's family of 7, so the list was going to be pretty good. And every once in a while, we would put in an extra line of something like cat turds. You know, she'd be at the store and sorry, Mom.
Hey, anyway, I just got your text.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, you're the one you spoke to?
Yeah, as I speak.
You want me to read it?
Well, it was just as I speak, then it stopped, right?
Yeah. Oh, I see a little, as I speak, I see a little, and as I speak, I see a little as I speak. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, my God, see how this goes.
Yeah, that's when Flounder cut me off and said, is this what we're going to do today? By the way, thanks, Flounder. Yesterday, Flounder pops up. I'm sitting in here, and Flounder pops up and says, we have beard shavers, we have beard trimmers. I've got one home. I can bring a beard trimmer for you to come here. And I said, what, you got a problem with the way I look here? Is that what you're telling me? He said, well, you really ought to, gotta cut somebody, Well, I said, I don't want to cut anything until I see if it's going to come in. So I've got these whiskers that kind of just stick out, and it just looks horrible. I'm really an ugly individual, but I'm not going to cut it or trim it at all until I see whether it's going to come in fuller, and then I'll decide what to do. But poor Flounder says, I have one. I can bring it in for you if you want. I said, no, that's fine. Anyway, all right, to the news, 327. You'll be glad to know that the White House Christmas tree apparently is back and is upright and has been fixed and now permanently settled after what happened late yesterday when winds of almost 50 miles an hour blew it over. Now, this is like $1 million Christmas tree, and they took hundreds of people to decorate it. Has 34,000 ornaments. In the White House, they have 98 Christmas trees with 34,000 ornaments, 142,000 sparkling lights. But this one, the ceremony went on as scheduled late last night, replaced a snapped cable, and the tree was back upright last night. And a couple of reactions to it on social media when the tree fell over. And it's an enormous tree. It's 90 feet or 100 and something feet. I forgot. And I can't find it here in the stupid story. By the way, people who write print for radio media are horrible. They don't know how to write. I mean, these are the worst writers. Anyway, a social media reaction. One guy said, gee, Biden's Christmas tree fell faster than Afghanistan. Another, White House Christmas tree fell over. What a mess. And the national Christmas tree falls down, perfectly summing up Joe Biden's presidency. Yes. Anyway, so that's going on. And now, by the way, a new Christmas tradition at the White House. Little granddaughter Navy Joan Roberts. Remember her? Hunter Biden had denied that he ever even remembered sleeping with a stripper that he had met in Arkansas, a woman named Lauren Roberts, when she was an exotic dancer in Washington, D.C. And he said, I don't remember having sex with her. Of course, that's nonsense. It was one of his lies. And they had a DNA test. He tried not to have anything to do with her, denied he knew anything about the kid, said, she probably knocked up somebody else, whatever. So the DNA test proved that he was her father. So then, remember the mantle shots of the Biden White House, and they have all the stockings for all the 6 grandchildren. And then, unfortunately, last summer, Maureen Dowd in the New York Times had a big headline, "It's 7 grandkids, Mr. President. The cold shoulder and heart is a courier to counter to every message he's sent for decades. He's out of sync with the America he wants to continue to lead, skewering old Joe." A few weeks later, back in the summertime, Biden caved in, and they said, yes, we have a 7th granddaughter. Her name is Navy Joan. And now, unfortunately, because of what's going on, the family is now saying, well, we're not even going to do any of that anymore because it's not worth the reaction. So they're going to have their Christmas at Camp David, and they've taken down all the stockings, so you can't. They had one for the dog. They had a stocking for the dog, but they didn't have a stocking for the little girl that Hunter fathered. My God, what a bunch of scumbags! These are the first family. And of course, the majority news saying, "Oh boy, they're having a wonderful Christmas this year at the Camp David." Yeah, that's the issue. Anyway, 3:30, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. We'll get it organized here. I promise I'll get it going.
Hog, Rhino, and Los.
We will not be energy independent and really devalue the barrel on their side. In fact, we're increasing the number so that they're making even triple or more the amount of money they can sell a barrel for.
Okay, we did that.
We did that.
Joe did that.
$70 billion
I did that.
profits.
I did that.
And we're not talking about $70 billion over 10 years. No. We're talking about $70 billion a month almost.
The Morning Extra. Now every morning from 6 to 10 a.m. Only on Extra 106.3.
The Atlanta Braves are proud to congratulate superstar right fielder Ronald Acuna Jr. on being named the 2023 National League Most Valuable Player. Ronald amassed 41 home runs and 73 stolen bases during his historic regular season.
And it's home run number 40. He's fired up going around the bases.
Come see the MVP in person at Truist Park next season. 2024 tickets go on sale December 1st. Atlanta Braves baseball for the A.
Some choices are complicated, like do I get peanuts or popcorn? Thankfully, others are much simpler, like rooting for the Braves. And choosing Truist One checking. No overdraft fees. Lots of perks you can cheer for. And when your account balances grow, you get upgraded automatically. Oh, and with more than 130 Atlanta branches, you can add convenience to the list of perks too. Truist One checking. One simple choice. Branch count as of May 31st, 2023. Atlanta metro area. Truist Bank member FDIC.
Ever since he tried the rough greens for the first time, my dog, Uno, has changed. He's a completely different dog. I hear from people all the time in the audience. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of letters have come in who have had the same experience with their dog. They've heard me talk about rough greens on the show. They get some for themselves. And as soon as they sprinkle it on the dog's food, the dog literally wolfs it down. And it's really good for him. It's not a dog food. It's just chock full of vitamins and minerals and probiotics and omega oils that you sprinkle. Your dog needs these things to be healthy. My dog was easy. From the first time he tried rough greens, Uno was in love. Some dogs take a little bit to get used to the new flavor, though. Dr. Dennis Black, the inventor of rough greens, was on the phone with me last week. He doesn't want that to be a reason for you not to try. So right now, he's got a special gift available. You can get a free bag of rough greens for your dog just to try out. All you pay is shipping. Go to roughgreens.com/Beck or call 833-GLEN-33. Put it on your dog's food and begin to watch your dog become healthier.
Americold Logistics LLC has an opening for a director automation deployment, job code GJ1102 in Atlanta, Georgia, and other unanticipated locations throughout the United States. Take a role in greenfield and retrofits projects that include automation. This position requires a bachelor's degree or foreign degree equivalent in allied physics, industrial engineering, automation, and industrial electronic engineering or related field of study, plus 5 years of experience can be combo in the job or related occupation in WCS, PLC, and automation. Position requires approximately 40% travel to warehouse sites, possibility of working remotely with occasional business travel. The offered salary range is $134,410 to $160,181 per year. To apply, mail resume to Americold Logistics LLC. Attention, Barbara Bishop, 10 Glen Lake Parkway, Northeast, South Tower, Suite 600, Atlanta, Georgia 30328.
Stream the Morning Extra, The Kimmer Show, along with Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck, Jesse Kelly, and our entire lineup of conservative voices on the all-new Extra 106.3 app. Download it now for Apple or Android.
Look out, 334 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Falander. And this is Joy Division. Okay, well, I'm just going to have to talk about this in a moment here. On this day, 2007, there was a biopic about the late Joy Division singer Ian Curtis called Control, and it scooped up 5 prizes at the British Independent Film Awards. It's a black and white film, featured The Killers, David Bowie, and New Order on the soundtrack, which was shot for about $4 million, which is pretty low. Joy Division, Flounder, I know nothing about them.
So the lead singer you were talking about killed himself the night before their first American tour.
Oh,
they were a very, very influential band. They became New Order, actually, which was an 80s band.
Huh. Wow. And 2007, the movie came out about it. Was it a drug thing or just depressed?
I'm not sure if he was definitely out there. I don't know if it was drugs, alcohol, mental
that's a
stability.
Not a lot of joy there.
No joy in the division there. Of course, division, long division, short division. 335, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Birthdays include Don Cheadle, 59. He was Rhodey Rhodes in the Iron Man, Captain America, and the Avengers. Marty Kahn on the House of Lies. I used to watch that series, House of Lies. That was different.
Yeah.
And you
He's
may
a good
know
actor.
You may know him also as the guy from Hotel Rwanda and Crash Boogie Nights. And remember, he played the cowboy porn star and he worked at the music store trying to sell speakers. Remember that? It was Don Cheadle in Boogie Nights, and also Ocean's 11. He's a good actor. He's I'm surprised he's not kind of more well. Maybe he is more well known than I think. And on this day in history, let's see if I can find something here. How's this to put in context for today? 1947. This day, the United Nations votes in favor of partitioning the British-controlled Palestine and to allow it's a UN doing this, split up Palestine to allow the creation of an independent Jewish state of Israel. On this day, 1947, Arab countries voted against that part. And, of course, today everything is just fine, and they get along, and they're loving and peaceful. By the way, how could those people take a 10-month-old baby as a hostage? I mean, come on. Is there any like two sides to this, really? Anyway, 337. By the way, coming up, Swatoom wrote a little poem, a little nervous about this. We will talk about some stories coming out about the Hamas thing. Also, a CIA official got caught being on the wrong side. That scumbag Rachel Levine, the disgrace of the United States. Shame on the United States Navy making this pervert a freaking admiral. And they caught him trying to take the little diddlers off of little boys. I mean, he was just a slime bag, and he's a freaking admiral in the United States Navy. Dear God. Also, Pope Francis has gone way liberal again. He's kicked out another conservative priest. And what the hell's going on with stolen bulldogs at gunpoint? Another pair. Anyway, we'll talk about that story. It's just very, very bizarre. And you're going to hear from a lady who says, I wish I hadn't gotten these tattoos. And she's got a lot of them, and we'll talk about that in a second. Swatoom with a quick perm here. It's a perm for the Kimmer. I'm a little nervous about this. I said, Kimmer the Marine, oh, so funny and good. His temper flares up like fire in the wood. When he's angry, watch out. He's a force to be seen, but then he'll crack a joke and you'll forget where you've been. He struts like a babe with a swagger so fine, and his love for horses, well, that's borderline divine. He'll eat any food from sushi to fries, but don't mess with his coffee. That's the ultimate price. So here's to Kimmer, our quirky Marine, a friend like no other in this crazy scene. Wow, that's unbelievable, Swatoom. Wow. No, really, thanks so much. By the way, Pete just sent me a text. What is this thing with Bisquick?
Oh, the first Fargo when she stared at the Bisquick in the store.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought it was me because it looks like two different covers of the Bisquick box. I didn't know what you were getting at. Anyway, 3:39 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, and also coming up. Oh God! Wow, I guess that's coming up. Holy moly! Flounder with a message for the Kimmer. What's up, my friend?
All right, this is someone back from your day, I believe. What's his name? Tom Dreesen.
Tom Dreesen. It could go either way. Yeah, he was one of the Rat Pack Sinatra guys.
Yeah, he opened up for Sinatra, I was reading about. Anyway, this is him right here.
Excellent.
So anyone that's gotten tattooed and they're like,
nope, that's not her.
Daisy? That could be the tattoo girl.
Yeah, here we go.
We'll get to her later.
She's dating this kid's in a punk rock band. He's 32 also, and he lives with his parents. And I said to him the other day, I said, how long do you think you should live with your parents? He said, till at least we're 50 or 60. I said, no, really? That's what he said. I said, why do you say that? He said, Mr. Dreesen, we didn't ask to be here. I said, I don't want to give you a biology lesson, but when the male and the female make love, from the male comes 5 million seeds. Did you know that? 2.5 million seeds die instantly, and the other thousands die along the way, and pretty soon there's only 100,000 seeds left, and there's 100 seeds left, and pretty soon there's only 5 seeds left. 4, 3, 2, 1, you. Don't ever tell me you didn't ask to be here. Bullshit. You fought to be here.
You fought to be here. All those other little squigglies. Pretty funny. And it's Streisand, as he even said himself. And he was a Sinatra guy. He used to hang around with them all, and Sammy Davis Jr. and Peter Lawford.
I think that's from a couple years ago, so he's still doing stand-up.
Working? Yep. Wow, good for him. 340 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Philander. The Hamas business, just very quickly, so you'll know, there are more hostages being released, and they're talking about how the United Nations is not doing more to condemn Hamas and all the stuff, and all the reactions still coming on. We'll talk about some testimony coming before Congress here shortly, and all that kind of stuff. Well, it turns out now there have been some stories after some of the kids have been released as hostages by Hamas. And apparently they've all been told, really don't say too much because we don't want to sort of start anything and we don't want to make it worse for the people still being held hostage until they're all done. So they're kind of saying really going to keep it on the low down, which I think is a shame, but I understand it. A couple of things, though. Some of the hostages many of them have lost up to 15 or 20% of their body weight during captivity, and they were rarely fed, or if they were fed, it wasn't much. And apparently, they are one psychiatrist have been treating, doctors have been treating these children at a medical center in Tel Aviv, and he said they all are afraid to raise their voices after 50 days with the terrorists. It's too early to discuss the outcome of what they've been through. The hostages have been told fears for the safety of the others still being held in Gaza, so don't say too much about what happened. But it does show the brutality and inhumanity of their captors to the kids. The aunt of a 12-year-old girl who was freed this week says they forced her, it was a young boy, her nephew, forced him at gunpoint to watch the raw video footage of the atrocities they carried out on October 7th, all the slaughtering. We're wrapping up husbands and wives and families together and setting them on fire, stuff like that. The doctor said it's a kind of horror film no one wants to see. They forced him to watch it, and if he or she or any other children cried, the terrorists threatened them with a gun to shut up. Others said they were put on the back of the motorcycle and driven across the fence into Gaza through the streets where people were beating on them and jeering them. Let's see. Another testimony. A 9-year-old girl who is freed still speaks in whispers. The most shocking thing about meeting Emily was the fact that she spoke in whispers to the point where you couldn't even hear her, said her father. I had to put my ear so close to her mouth to hear in captivity. She was told not to make a sound, and you could see the terror in her eyes. When he asked his daughter how long she had been in captivity, the 9-year-old said, about a year. About a year. Her eyes sparkled. She took a deep breath. It was very difficult. Last night she cried until her face was red. She couldn't stop. She didn't want any comfort. I guess she forgot how to comfort herself. She got under the covers, covered herself up, and cried. These are the children. How the hell could they kidnap a 10-month-old baby? Shoot him in the eye, every freaking one of them. I swear. And by the way, this is killing me now because now Netanyahu, whatever his name is, Benny or Bippy or whatever, Kabibi, has just said, don't forget, as soon as the hostages are all released, we're going back in there to kill them all. So, I mean, duh, but still, I mean, this is nonsense. This is madness. It's all madness. What now? So every couple of weeks we release another 9 people, and then what? At some point, it's going to end. This is just horror. And these children, my God, they're children. How could anybody call for any kind of peaceful resolution to the people who did this?
Well, did you see what's going on in Oakland?
Oh, I saw a headline. Tell the little people.
Yeah, they had the city council meeting or something, and there were people getting up, the city council people and people speaking, saying it didn't really happen. Hamas didn't do that to those people.
Yeah. Denial. and obfuscation. I mean, that's what they do. And again, hell, the White House had been doing it. Again, President Showers' daughter apologized to the Muslims the other day for lopping them in with people who weren't caring about what's happening to the Palestinians. This is the damnedest thing I've ever heard in my life, and I don't get any of it. I mean, I really don't. And I don't see an outcome. Well, they're supposed to now live in peace. Eventually, they kill a few more, and then they have a few more, and then they would just all become friends again. What are you kidding me?
With barbarians.
I mean, come on.
I mean, it's just one side wins, the other side wins. There's no peace with that.
Yeah. I mean, this is just it's horrible.
I don't want to see one of them over here.
No,
their own people won't take them.
No,
we better not accept one Palestinian.
Oh, you know that the leftists are going to say, oh, well, it's the best thing we can do to solve the peace problem is just have them come over here because they can live in peace over here. You've seen what they do when they are here. In fact, one of the reasons that people have been, we're going to talk about in a minute. We got to take a break here at 3:45. But we're going to talk about how some of these presidents of universities have said they've been afraid to crack down on the hating the Jew protests because they said it wouldn't be fair if the Hamas-loving protesters got caught and were sent back to their home country. So they're trying to protect the immigrants who are coming over to hate America and hate your Jews. Dear God, 346 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's madness.
This coming election stands to be one of the biggest and most contested of our lifetime. And as the rhetoric ramps up, count on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station to bring you the latest election news and opinions from the local and national voices you trust.
And this judge is now afraid that Donald Trump is, calling for violence again. That's nonsense.
I stand behind Trump and his ability to be able to speak about what he is being charged with because they have every right to sit there and throw out these bogus accusations.
We're proud to carry the torch as Atlanta's only conservative voice. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra 106.3 app.
It's the start of a new era of Georgia Tech men's basketball as new head coach Damon Stoudemire begins his first season at the helm of the Yellow Jackets. Help us bring the thrill back into the Thrillerdome by making sure you're at McCamus Pavilion to see the Jackets play. Whether you choose 9 games, including the matchup versus the Duke Blue Devils, or 6 games, including the North Carolina Tar Heels, we have plans to fit your busy schedule. For tickets and more info, visit RamblinRack.com. Sting 'em.
Brace yourself for the ultimate holiday deal with Consumer Cellular. Snag an incredible 50% off the Iris Flip when you buy before December 17th, making it only $34.50. The Iris Flip is all the phone and camera you need with a user-friendly design, the perfect flip phone companion. Plus, you'll get nationwide coverage and always free activation. Score 50% off when you use promo code RADIO50. Head over to consumercellular.com and use promo code RADIO50 during checkout to score this deal.
Neil Bortz is live every day on Extra 106.3. And if you missed the legend, you missed this.
We can't be the world's policeman, they say. Well, then who will be? Right now, we have China, Iran, Russia, North Korea are all trying to get together, take advantage of the situation in the Middle East, team up with Iran, destroy Israel, and work on the United States. If you don't want the United States to be the dominant world power, then go ahead, choose a country. Let me know which country you think would do a better job. China? Putin? Russia? Iran? If you don't think the United States should be the world's policeman, then pick another country. I don't want to be around for that.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app. Tomorrow night, Extra 106.3 brings you Atlanta's exclusive coverage of the great red versus blue state debate between Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and California Governor Gavin Newsom, hosted by moderator Sean Hannity. Our exclusive coverage hits the air at 9 p.m. live on Extra 106.3 and streaming live on the Extra 106.3 app.
All right, hold on. I got to find it. Oh, yeah. I got it right here. 349. How's it going? It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis and Flounder. And you too. And on this day in 2023, God, that was 23 years ago. I still, when I hear these dates, I'm just, maybe it's just because I don't know. I just, I can't believe it's 23 years ago. Getting old, yeah. I mean, and boy, if you don't think life goes fast. 2000, Larry Mullen from U2 came to the rescue of a motorcycle rider who had been involved in a wreck. Larry was driving home. He saw the motorcyclist crashed and stopped to call for help on his phone, then waited for the ambulance. Well, he didn't help the guy. He called the cops and then stood there and watched him, writhing in pain on the sidewalk. Good for you there, Larry. No, sorry. It's probably... I made a call. What? I got stuff to do. Hell, crap. Yeah, you'll be all right, man.
To be you.
I remember the time. I remember the time I was... I'd come up to an intersection in Brookhaven. I used to live there. And it was in a very busy corner. And I stopped at the light, and a jaywalker tried to cross the road as the light turned an arrow across from me for a left turn. So the car facing me across from me was making his left turn in front of me. A jaywalker tried to beat him and got hit. Bang, boom, pow, right there and right in front of me. It happened right in front of my car. So I jumped out and I grabbed the guy and put him over on the sidewalk because he was in pretty bad shape, and called 911 and tried to comfort the guy, but without breaking a bone on him or something. But that was pretty scary. And he said, in fact, the poor he was growing on my stomach. I hit him right in the midsection, kind of, and bent him over the car and went him flying. And I called the cop. I called the cops and 911. And then I said, it was your fault, man. Sorry. And when the guy got, he was jaywalking. I'm sorry. So, the driver shouldn't get in trouble. The driver did everything right. He didn't see the guy racing in the sky in the car, so I didn't want to get the driver in trouble. So I told the truth anyway.
Snitch.
What's that? Snitch. Yeah, I'm a snitch. Quick birthday, Flounder. Have you ever heard the name Susie Chaffee?
Susie Chaffee?
Susie Chaffee.
I have not.
Or Susie Chaffee.
I have not.
I think it might be Susie Chaffee, as I recall. Flounder. Pete Davis, do you know the name? I bet you know Susie Chaffee.
Oh, yeah.
Susie Chaffee is 77 years old.
Oh, that's why I don't know her.
She is single-handedly responsible for making Chapstick America's favorite lip balm. She was a famous skier, teeny little blonde.
I remember that commercial, I want to say.
Yeah.
She'd be skiing down the mountain?
Yeah.
Yes, I do remember that
Susie
commercial.
Chaffee. And because Chaffee is like chapstick kind of deal, and she became the spokesperson, a cute little blonde, as I recall, skier champ. I don't know whether she won the Olympic medal, whatever, but she was very famous for it. And she's 77 years old, and she did the chapstick commercials, and that's why she's famous today. Also, one kind of a musical history note on this day in 1952, Flounder, if you will. Did you got the thing that I mentioned a minute ago? If you have a chance. 1952. There we go. Jimmy Boyd.
Wow! I pulled Jackson 5.
Oh. Well, that doesn't. All right. Well, it works. Well, of course, you're not getting to this song. There you go. Oh, my God. Is that Michael Jackson?
This is the Jackson 5.
What, to say what year this is recorded?
I'd have to say this would be in the late 70s.
I wonder how old he was. Probably 7 or 8, maybe. Oh, my God. Anyway, on this day, I saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus.
Who was the one you wanted? I'll get it real quick.
It doesn't matter. Jimmy Boyd was the one who made it famous. It was on this day. Jimmy Boyd entered and the reason I mentioned this one is because it was right after Thanksgiving when they started doing Christmas stuff, and they released this song. It entered the top 40 on this day in 1952. I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus by Jimmy Boyd. They did the original. And he had one of those little kid voices like Michael, like there.
I think John Mellencamp did one, too.
Really? I wouldn't be surprised. It was, hell, everybody's probably done this. Here's Jimmy.
Show mommy kissing.
Kill it. Kill it. Kill it with fire.
Well, now see that. But remember the style. This was 1950s style, and there were a lot of kid singers who had that kind of the voice, like the old-fashioned
annoying.
Yeah, it was. It's like the who was the guy who oh my mama, from Broadway and vaudeville.
Alan Sherman.
Yeah, no. The guy's from vaudeville. That's a vaudeville style voice singing there. All the kids did that.
Oh, Al Jolson.
Yeah, like that. And that was their style from 1952 for crying out loud. Anyway, so there you go. All right, 3:55. By the way, I don't understand what's going on with bulldogs. Another pair of bulldogs were just dog-napped at gunpoint from a dog walker in Atlanta. And this is like the fourth or fifth case recently of bulldogs being robbed being stolen, dog-napped at gunpoint. But first, 3:55. First, let's do this and tell me what you think. I think Pete found this. I'm not sure. An Australian woman, it was either you or Flounder, an Australian woman is saying, all right, all you two tattoo people, she says, I love tattoos, but I suddenly hate mine. I should have listened to my mother. This woman is from Australia, and she is now saying that we need to change the age where you can get a tattoo to make it higher because it's a mistake if you want to do it.
I didn't get mine till I was 3 years ago. So
really? You were a grown man.
Yeah, so I didn't get a tattoo until I was 43.
She started at 19, and she was heavily inked at the age of 19. Anyway, here's what she says now about it.
There we
go. Australian chick. They call it.
So anyone that's gotten tattooed and they're like, oh, if I stop loving it, I'll just get it removed, needs a rude wake-up call. Because when I was 19, I stupidly started getting tattooed every time I had a mood swing. So I ended up getting really heavily tattooed really quickly. It's just such a coping mechanism for me. Whenever I had a depressive thought or feeling, I was like, oh, I'll get a tattoo. And at the time, I loved them. Fast forward 10 years later, I absolutely hate the thing. I love them on other people. I think they're beautiful on myself. They make me physically recoil. They are by far my biggest regret.
Well, she had him lasered off, but she said that is awful. This woman even wanted to become a professional tattoo remover so she could laser herself and save money. She said, I was so ignorant. I thought, well, if I don't like them, I'll just get them removed. No big deal. And she says, no. Explaining she's gotten tattoos on her neck, her hands, her legs removed in the last 8 years. She's gotten about 8 tattoos up, but she's got a whole bunch more. And the process of laser removal, she says, involves between 12 and 20 sessions for each one. It feels like you're being burned by a blowtorch. Half the reason I do it myself for a living is because it's so damn expensive. If I had the laser, if I do the laser, I can do it on myself. She believes the legal age to get tattooed in Australia should be raised from 18 to 21. She says, I didn't know what I was thinking at 19. I got my knuckles tattooed. I got my neck tattooed. I just want clean skin. That's all I want. By the way, did you know she sounds like a Valley girl from Australia? The only way you couldn't tell she was a California Valley girl because she said thought. She said thought. Oh, my God. Anyway, 3:57 with a Kim, Pete, and Flounder here today. An amazing story. I came across this morning, and this is just horrible. Atlanta neighborhood. Let's see, the owner of a bar in the neighborhood in Atlanta, let's see, Walker, well, it's kind of near where Flounder and I used to live off of Collier Road area kind of deal. Anyway, this guy, the story is this, a man named Livingston with his partner was in England on a vacation, and a dog walker was walking his 2 friendly rescue bulldogs when all of a sudden, he said, I've never had a problem with the robber in the neighborhood. All of a sudden, the dog walker's walking his 2 bulldogs, and 3 dog nappers carrying handguns robbed the dogs and said, give me the dogs at gunpoint. They discarded their collars several blocks away at Collier Park in northwest Atlanta. The owner's offering a $5,000 reward to get the dogs back. Still has not gotten the dogs and still don't know who did it. 3 guys with guns robbing 2 bulldogs, 2 rescue bulldogs. The sitter was walking Scotch and Stogie. 3 men approached with their guns drawn. He complied, but then he quickly started chasing them. And when they ran away with the dogs, one of the guys then turned around and fired a shot at him, didn't hit him. They learned, by the way, the dog nappers apparently were related to a car crash nearby. They, I guess, jumped in some guy's car and said, you need to drive us out of here. The driver was being kidnapped, carjacked. And he said, okay. So he started racing away, and he got in a collision with another car, and that's when they jumped out and took off. That was just the other day. In August, a 22-year-old fellow named McKinnon was fatally shot by the guy who stole his French bulldog at the Lindbergh Apartments in Buckhead. Earlier, a French bulldog stolen from a man at gunpoint in northwest Atlanta's Washington Park. The puppy was off the leash. 2 guys came up and said, "We're taking your dog, and what are you going to do about it?" And then happened this summer, a French bulldog taken from woman's home on Langard Way in Norcross. Bedroom window open, and a guy stole it. Oh, my God, 4 o'clock, look out, here we go.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta Safe House.
Heartbreaking questions in Israel. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Hamas has claimed that the youngest Israeli hostage, who would be 10 months old, is dead, along with his 3-year-old brother and his mother. That has not been confirmed. Israeli Defense Forces spokesman Doron Spielman just telling Fox News.
Our hearts are with the family. We're assessing this based on all of our intelligence, both people on the ground, the information, all the ways that we've been able to gather intelligence now. And part of that are the reports that Hamas puts out, but we know these reports have often been wrong. We're certainly hoping that this one is wrong.
Now, this follows reports earlier in the week that they may have been transferred to a different terrorist group. Hamas has previously claimed hostage deaths from Israeli airstrikes. Still awaiting the release of 10 more Israeli women by Hamas, the 6th and final release planned, unless a temporary truce in Gaza is extended again. So far today, Hamas releasing 2 women with dual citizenship, Israeli Russians. Secretary of State Antony Blinken heading back to the region to help press for further extensions and releases. Businesses near where George Floyd was killed in 2020 are suing the city of Minneapolis over lack of police protection.
4 businesses filing the lawsuit against the city, Mayor Jacob Fry and other Minneapolis officials accusing them of not properly policing the area known as George Floyd Square since Floyd's death. The businesses include Cup Foods, the convenience store where Floyd was suspected of trying to pass a counterfeit $20 bill that led to his fatal encounter with police in 2020. The lawsuit, seeking $1.5 million in damages, claims the area has become known for a lack of police protection and become so dangerous it's referred to as a no-go zone.
Fox's Matt Napolitano, no comment on the suit, but Minneapolis officials say businesses have been offered a range of support after civil unrest and the pandemic. Mixed finish on Wall Street, the Dow up 13 at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert, and I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-887-1010. That's 800-887-1010.
Born from the tragedy of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is committed to helping our nation's heroes and their families in their darkest hours. They provide mortgage-free homes for fallen first responder families, Gold Star families, and catastrophically injured veterans and first responders. In 2023, they are providing housing assistance and services to more than 2,000 of America's homeless veterans. Do good and never forget 9/11 or the sacrifices made by our nation's heroes. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T, the number 2.
Something for Africa, and the other one was the Coke song, "We Are the World" kind of deal. Anyway,
"We Are the World" was a bunch of different people. Like Michael Jackson, Lionel Richie.
And I remember in the video, the fun part of the video that I remember is when Cyndi Lauper, Craigie Lauper, what's her name? Somebody Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper. When they showed the people in the crowd, and there was some girl standing next to Cyndi Lauper. I can't remember who it was. Might have been Fleetwood Mac girl. Anyway, when Cyndi Lauper, when it's her turn to sing, she starts doing her thing where she goes, hey, 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 ah, like that. And the girl next to her just cringes. And it's really embarrassing because it's like, oh my God, wow, stop her. And of the music video, if you ever see it, look for the girl next to Cyndi Lauper when she starts doing her solo. Anyway, so there you go. All right, now let's see. I think I got a birthday here. Oh my God, it's 4:05. 4:05. We got news.
I'm going to crush your soul here, Kimmer.
Please do.
I'm really sorry to do this.
What happened?
According to the Daily Mail,
oh boy,
all that glitters is not gold, as my great-grandmother used to say.
What do you mean?
Turns out your golden bachelor, Gary Turner, Gary, whatever.
Gary, yeah.
Is not who he says he is.
Oh, God, what now? What is he, like a hitman for the mob?
He has been retired for decades. No, he's been working off and on, even blue-collar jobs and other stuff. But it seems he's, hasn't been on a date since his wife died.
Yeah.
That's what he said?
Well, I'm not sure.
Turns out not only was he on dates, he lived with a woman for 3 years.
Oh, boy.
At the Indiana Lake House. And at some point, he got worried about money. So he said, you're going to have to pay $1,000 a month.
Oh.
She negotiated it down to $850.
Oh, my God.
But reportedly, he was so concerned with dividing cost with her that she would pay for her meals at restaurants beforehand. So when the check came, Turner could pretend he was paying the whole tab.
Oh, my God.
And that he would demand she make the bed every morning before they had breakfast.
Oh, my God. Yeah, he's got children who are, oh, Daddy, you should do this. You should do this. Oh, my God. Again, it's on tomorrow night, The Golden Bachelor, the final episode. And he's got the two girls to choose from. And I promise you, this will be the worst. We talked about the morning show was ripping me pretty good this being an old bachelor this morning. And finally, I had to go to the store to get some bags of ice because my refrigerator broke again. So I've got 7 buckets of ice around the place. So I'm in the parking lot and I'm hearing ripping me. So sorry, damn it all. So I called him. So I called in the show this morning. We're talking about the Golden Bachelor, and I said to them, I'll say it again, I guarantee you this is the worst decision he's ever made in his life. I'll bet he regrets this the rest of his life that he went in this thing. And now with this with this stuff, I wonder whether this is going to come out in the final episode when they reveal more about it. Probably not if this is new stuff. It's been taped months ago, apparently, obviously.
Another reason he's going to hate making this decision, the Hollywood Reporter has gone through his life and has dug up some other stuff too. So.
Oh man, why would you? How remember the girl Andy was the chick Andy was a little hottie prosecutor in Atlanta, and she was the Bachelorette, and all the guys were trying to be with her, and so she was down to the final 2, and then it turned out at the end, the last one, she picked the other guy, but they showed the video of her and the darkness, or no, they showed the video of her talking to the guy she didn't pick. And she said, I'm picking so and not you. And he said, well, then why did we make love last night? Which is, kind of a secret that she didn't want to have revealed to the guy that she did pick, that she was also sleeping with a guy that she didn't pick, just for the fun of it. Apparently, give him a little something on the side to remember by, But again, this is a prosecutor in Atlanta. And now she's forever going to be known as the prosecutor who got caught sleeping with a guy she didn't pick. And she was a prosecutor. How can you possibly think you're going to fall in love with one out of 19 guys on TV? Come on. And how would this old guy think he's going to find the woman of his dreams, a final love of forever, among 19 women on TV for the time you get to spend together being watched on camera?
Well, okay, I think whoever he picks, they're going to be broken up within 6 months to a year. But guess what? He finally dumped that girlfriend of 3 years. You know why he dumped her?
No, why?
She says because she gained 10 pounds.
10 pounds? 110 might have an issue with somebody. Even so, that's the wrong thing to do. Oh, my God, what an idiot.
If they gain 10 pounds, it usually is in one area, which I like. So,
well, still, that's horrible. I mean, if that's true that he negotiated his girlfriend to start paying her way, everything about this is horrible. His children must be, oh my God. Oh man. Oh, I'm just cringing. It's going to be a nightmare Thursday night. I'm going to be a wreck because I
may watch it.
You should watch it. They'll do highlights of the season. You should watch it. Oh my God. 4:10. Almost cover almost out of time. Let's do this. And by the way, if you heard at 4:00, I heard the news. Apparently, the story we talked about this yesterday. How Hamas killer murderers have transferred the family, including the 10-month-old baby and the family, transferred them from one hostage camp to another so that they wouldn't get attacked and try to string out the ceasefire. And now at 4:00, they just told us that it looks like the 10-month-old baby and the family are dead. And so that Hamas is going to say, well, it was Israeli gunfire and shells that did it. They killed them on their own. Not their fault, really. 10-month-old baby and the family dead. Hostages. They're going to burn. I don't know why God isn't sending freaking lightning bolts right now, individually to every freaking one of them, right in the eye, right in the ass. Honestly, I don't get it. I don't get it. 410. Okay, let's do this. This is different. As you know, I've had a lot of complaints about my stupid phone. I need to get it's many years old, and I need to get a new one. But still, everything's changed when I did the automatic setting thing where they update overnight and stuff like that. And now nothing is the same. I don't know what works. Everything's changed. I can't find anything, stuff like that. Earlier today, my flounder was helping me do that stuff. Okay, an ex-Apple employee is now revealing game-changing iPhone hacks that nobody knows about, and he's put a TikTok video out there with 14 million viewers, and let's do one, see if I can figure out how to go along with this. One of his first things is tap to snap, hold to record. Now, it is not necessary to scroll to the video feature on your iPhone camera. Users can simply hold down the button that would normally be used to take a picture. And he says, while holding the record button, users can slide their fingers up or down the phone's screen to zoom in on the picture. Although this will only save a few seconds, it's the difference between catching a child's first steps or switching to record just in time for the kid to lose his balance and fall. So, oh my God. So in other words, all right, I'm going to go to my camera feature. Where the hell's my camera feature? Oh, here we go. So I open up my camera app, the little round circle that says photo. It says photo. Now, if I hold this down, it's recording. I'll be damned. Now if I can, what did it say? If you slide your fingers up or down, all right, I'm sliding. Oh my God, if I slide it up, it zooms in. And if I slide it back down, it zooms out again. And when I take my finger off the photo button, it stops recording. So that's, and again, all weekend and every weekend I take like 20 videos Saturday and Sunday of the horses up at the stable where Jack the Good Boy was. And frequently I'll see a horse starting to lay down to roll or something. I want to get it. This would save me the time that I might miss something really cool at the stable. That's very, very cool.
Are you sure you're recording and not doing a burst, which means you've just taken 20 photos?
Oh, well, now let me check. I will replay and see what I've got. I'm going now to phone my... now, if I can... What did it say?
Don't you hit playback. The microphone again.
Yeah, no, this is the playback of the video I just took on the photo button.
Oh, it did work.
It did work. It did work. Well, that's pretty cool. Excellent. Well, that's number one. So that's pretty interesting. In fact, there are more. How to do commentating. Oh, wait a minute now. There's one I think where you can take a picture. Let's see. Take a picture while you're being a commentator. Oh, well, this might be cool. We'll do a lot of stuff.
The music.
Oh, damn. Anyway, 413. That's so now we got stuff that we got. With the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. No, it's fine. It'll be fine. Really.
Time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Well, it's time for my periodic lecture on how to solve our race problems in this country. Step one, of course, is to identify the problem. Come on, folks, think about it. You can't fix something if you don't know what's wrong with it. Identify the problem, then work on a solution. So, in the wonderful world of race, we have bigotry and prejudice and racism. Now, a good definition of bigot is a person who is narrow-mindedly devoted to their own ideas and their groups and intolerant of others. Then we move on to prejudice. Prejudice, prejudge. You form an opinion about somebody or something before you have any actual experience or understanding of that person or thing. That brings us to racism. I'll give you some examples of what it is to be racist. If you move out of a mixed race neighborhood, that's white flight. White flight is racism. If you move into a mixed race neighborhood, that's gentrification. Gentrification is racist. If you notice the color of another person, that's racism. If you do not see the color of another person, you're ignoring racism, and that is racism. If you engage with the culture of another race, that is cultural appropriation. Cultural appropriation is racist. If you do not engage with the culture of another person, you are being non-inclusive. Non-inclusiveness is racism. And I'll finish with the handy flow chart. Does it exist? If the answer is yes, it's racist. Now you know you're better informed. Have a great day. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Hey, it's Lowe's here with the one and only Rhonda Duffy. And you've heard my success stories about selling a home with Duffy, but Rhonda and her team also can help you buy your next home and save you big money.
One of the things that I am most proud of at Duffy is the way that we work with buyer clients. There's so much more inventory than what you're seeing online. Our clients experience that inventory, then they do their own searching. When it's time to make an offer, we take them through a process that is so data-driven that it's absolutely impossible for them to overpay for that property. Then at that point, we share our commission with them. That's right. That came from people sitting at closing saying, well, it must be nice to make tens of thousands of dollars when I found the home myself. So we built a whole model around it, and I really appreciate when a buyer says, what a great partnership.
When it's time to buy your next home, start with Duffy because money matters. DuffyRealtyATL.com.
DuffyRealtyATL.com. Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
If you have been to Chuckingham Palace, you know that we now have gorgeous double front doors. Well, Dan Watkins, the guy that put that door in, told me some interesting things about it at dinner.
Atlanta has a weird market for front doors. For 40 years, builders have been installing odd-sized side lights as part of the front door, which is a huge problem now that people realize how much better their home looks with modern and beautiful double doors. Most companies will tell you the double door installation can't be done. It can be done, and we're the company to do it, no matter how odd the opening is. Let all Four Seasons garage and entry doors be the ones to tell you yes.
Surely you've heard of it, but have you tried playing pickleball yet? At Ace Pickleball Club, headquartered in Roswell, they deliver the optimal playing experience for pickleball players of all ages and skill levels. From beginners to pros, Ace Pickleball Club serves up premium indoor courts with the latest on-court technology, and they're growing rapidly. With nearly 100 more franchise locations in development, Ace Pickleball Club is offering new franchise locations in all 50 states. To learn more about opening your own pickleball franchise, please visit AcePickleballClubFranchise.com.
Look out. 419 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And Sir Paul McCartney. I don't recognize this song.
This is Jet
Jets
by Wings, which was Paul McCartney's band after the Beatles.
After the Beatles.
You know this song. Here it comes.
Oh, I've heard this. Yeah, this is wow.
Dan's on the run.
Yeah, that's right. I'll be damned. On this day, 2002, 3 paintings by Sir Paul McCartney were bought for about $50 each at the Secrets postcard sale at London's Royal College of Art. Members of the public gambled on whether they were buying works by celebrity artists at a fraction of their value, as the picture's creator was only made known after it was sold. So they had no idea, and they were paying $50 for a Paul McCartney painting, which is pretty cool. Let's raise money for charity. We could do that. Probably get $8, $9 probably at the end of the day.
Yeah.
420, Repeat and Flounder. Birthdays include Brian Baumgardner. You don't know the name, but you know the guy. 51 years old. He played Kevin, the accountant and drummer of the Police cover band Scrantonicity at the Office. He was Kevin the Goofy Guy at 51 years old, Brian Baumgardner. Kevin! And on this day in history, 2017, NBC fired Matt Lauer over a smorgasbord of sexual harassment allegations, including exposing himself to the ladies at work. Boy, did I find out the hard way. That's not appropriate anymore in America. Golly. All right, 421, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Now, we want to do a little more phone fun here? Let's do one more phone thing real quick.
No.
No, you don't want to?
No.
What do you want to do?
We've done enough phone stuff today.
Well, now, see,
I'm
there
going to
you
hang
go.
up on the phone thing.
All right, well, that's fine with me.
Hang up on the phone
Okay,
thing.
well, you and Flounder are going to have to fight this over later. But first, I got the idea. We got all these tweets hanging around, and we got Pete hanging around. Now, but there's something we call Pete's tweets.
Okay, before I tell you the Pete's tweets, I got to tell you an embarrassing thing that happened last night.
Oh, please do.
Okay, you
Yes.
ready?
Yeah, please do.
After the show, I went on a Zoom podcast with a friend of mine.
All right, sir.
It was me and a few other people. So there's about 4 or 5 people on there. And, I'm feeling pretty good because we just did a good show and everything. So I immediately crack a joke. And nobody laughs.
Uh-oh. What was the joke?
Yeah.
What was the joke?
Nobody in the Zoom podcast even cracked a smile.
That sounds like me with you guys.
Which means I'm not even remotely funny.
I'm funny even by remote, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my God. That was the setup for not remotely funny.
Yeah.
And here I'm asking, what was the joke? I like. Well, yeah.
Every time.
You got me again.
Every time.
It's so easy.
You're the best straight man.
It's just not. It's too easy. It's really not fair. It's just too easy.
You're the best since Bud Abbott or whatever his name was.
Yeah, who's on first?
Abbott. Jeff says Christmas decor isn't meant to be sleek and minimalist. It's supposed to look like Joy threw up in your house. Or Santa Claus.
Incidentally, I should have taken the pill. If I go that way tonight on my ways going home, there is a neighborhood I go through, Indian Trail near. There's a country club around there and a golf course and stuff, and it's kind of you can meander through this beautiful little old neighborhood, and there are a couple of houses there that have more lights on them for Christmas things than I think I've ever seen. And I mean, just spectacular. I'll take video. If I go there tonight, I'll take videos. But my ways goes by there tonight. It's pretty cool. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go with your Christmas with your things.
Got a warning on social media. If you get a link that's titled Luke Bryan singing Christmas songs, do not click on it. Turns out it's Luke Bryan singing Christmas songs.
Well, now wait a minute. There are a lot. That's cold, man. I mean, it's Christmas. My God.
And that's Pete's tweets.
Oh, there you go. All right. Well, 424. Now back to the phone. No, seriously. This really burns me. And again, I'm totally biased about this. I think everything about this is a freaking disgrace. That slime bag who calls himself a girl, Dr. so-called Rachel Levine. This was the guy in Pennsylvania. He was a health director, as I recall. And isn't he the one who transferred his mother to a safe and secret nursing home so she wouldn't get COVID when he demanded all the other old people go to the place where all the people got COVID? And he saved his own mother and sent the rest of them to their death, basically. And then the freaking Navy made him an admiral. And he's like some big-time Charlie guy in the Pentagon. And now he's being involved in a lawsuit because Alabama is fighting a lawsuit against Alabama, which has passed a law that blocks minors from getting sex changes. And it's a serious law. You can't mess around with kids and giving them all these pills and surgery and stuff like that. And now somebody's suing, and so as part of the lawsuit, the state of Alabama DOJ wants to interview and depose Dr. so-called Rachel Levine in the litigation. And the reason is because of this slime bag in his records, and he's not a girl, he's a freaking guy. By the way, he's the ugliest freaking tranny I've ever seen. He's hideous looking. I mean, that stupid, I don't know if those are his real blonde curl wig thing or whatever, and this big man feet in this freaking high heels wearing a freaking dress. What a disgrace. Freaking Navy, are you kidding me? Honest to God, if I ever was introduced to him and had to do something, I think I'd spit in his face. Yeah, spit in your face. Yeah, go ahead and hit me. I deserve to get say. I spit in your face. Go ahead and slap me in the face. Go ahead. Be worth it. Of course, then you'd be on the ground, but that's a whole other issue. Honestly, I hate everything about this. I look at that face and I think, you dirty, rotten slime bag. Well, here's what the problem with this guy is. His emails. And a federal court, the DOJ tried to block Rachel Levine from giving up his emails to show what he really is like. Well, a federal judge has said, he's part of this. He's going to be deposed, and you're going to get his emails. Well, for example, he's at the forefront of the Biden crime family administration's reckless promotion of sex modification procedures for children. For example, just a couple of quick examples. Just recently, Levine praised a gender clinic in Alaska with revisionist ideas about biological sex. Among other things, he eliminated the word mother from science classes in school. A gender-inclusive biology curriculum catered for science teachers recommends child-friendly definitions relating to gender and sexuality and no more saying mother. Also, a couple of months ago, he argued that medical interventions like hormone therapy could be necessary for children who experience the wrong puberty. He believes their kids have the wrong puberty. And then he said, medically changing kids' genders will soon be normal. I'm a positive and optimistic person. I choose to be positive, and I think that the wheels will turn on this, where medically changing kids' genders will soon be part of the deal. I think he has a collection of severed childhood sex organs in a jar on his mantle.
Alan had a comment for you.
Oh, I'm sorry. On a thing or?
Yeah, he couldn't talk. He said, you said that Levine was the ugliest tranny you've ever seen?
Yeah.
So who's the best looking tranny you've ever seen?
I've no idea. Probably somebody I kissed in a bar. By mistake, of course. How are you supposed to know? I mean, if some hottie comes up and flirts with the bar and starts kissing you, what are you going to say? No thanks. I don't know you. Please.
Always check for the Adam's apple.
Yeah, if it's bobbing up and down, time to go. Hey, barkeep, I want to pay my tab. Oh, Lordy. Well, I once did an undercover story with a cop and followed him around with a secret hidden camera. And the story was, later it came out that he had fallen for a tranny and a sex crime thing and was having the part way of the sex with the tranny and didn't know it was a tranny until the bust was made, and he could never live it down. The entire police department and everybody in criminal justice knew the guy, knew what happened, and every time anybody saw him, it was just, oh my God. And he got in a sex thing with a tranny and didn't know it until and oh boy. Anyway, 428 with a camera here and a thing there. So they're going to get his emails, and good, screw the idiot. By the way, speaking of conservative versus liberal stuff, Pope Francis is showing some more of the true colors of the Vatican these days. He's fired another conservative cardinal, Raymond Burke, who spends a lot of his time in America in Wisconsin, I believe, at the Lady of Guadalupe Shrine. He founded in Wisconsin. He's the second American priest or prelate to be punished recently. Pope Francis just kicked him out of his Vatican apartment and took away his salary, because this guy Burke has been criticizing the pontiff's pro-LGBT stance. And so the Pope says you're a source of disunity in the church and you're out. No more Vatican apartment, no more salary, because he's using his benefits against the teaching of the church. He's 75 years old, a canon lawyer that Francis fired as their high court justice 9 years ago. He's an outspoken critic of the Pope and has reached out to the gay community to make the church more responsive to the needs of ordinary faithful. Other conservative cardinals doing the same kind of deal. And he's asked the Pope to clarify his outreach to divorced Catholics, too, and whether same-sex couples really can receive church blessings. And he says the Pope is wishy-washy on it, and he wants him to explain what the hell he's talking about, maybe without the hell part. Anyway, he says the sheep depend on the courage of pastors to protect them from the poison of confusion, error, and division, which means the church is poisoning the people. And that's why he's no longer a part of the deal. I don't think you get to say that to the Pope. You can say it once. 4:30 with a Carapine Flounder. Amen. Omnia Gallia Duidius and Tres Partes.
Tomorrow night, Extra 106.3 is proud to bring you Atlanta's exclusive coverage of the great Red versus Blue State debate. Hosted by moderator Sean Hannity, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, and California Governor Gavin Newsom go head-to-head live from right here in Alpharetta as they sound off on the biggest issues surrounding their states and the country at large. Our exclusive coverage hits the air at 9 p.m. live on Extra 106.3 and streaming live on the Extra 106.3 app.
The Atlanta Braves are proud to congratulate superstar right fielder Ronald Acuna Jr. on being named the 2023 National League Most Valuable Player. Ronald amassed 41 home runs and 73 stolen bases during his historic regular season.
And it's home run number 40. He's fired up going around the bases.
Come see the MVP in person at Truist Park next season. 2024 tickets go on sale December 1st. Atlanta Braves Baseball for the A.
Step into the great outdoors with Realtree, Georgia's very own outdoor company. Hi, I'm Bill Jordan, and I'm here to tell you about the incredible experiences that await you and your loved ones. At Realtree, we've dedicated ourselves to creating quality products and experiences that enhance your outdoor lifestyle. Whether you're an experienced hunter or a novice angler, Realtree has everything you need to make your outdoor adventures a success. Visit Realtree.com to discover a world of possibilities. Realtree, family, friends, and the outdoors.
When you own a business, you know where you're going. But there's always one question on your mind. How do I get there? With Piedmont Bank as your banking partner, your business has the support and financial expertise to bring you clear answers to that question. Because the heart of Piedmont Bank is built on professional insight, experience, and personalized financial solutions. So let's start a conversation and get you to wherever there is for you. Find a location near you at Piedmont.bank. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Going to a big football game? Walking around all day? Then you'll want comfortable shoes. Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Atlanta stores. Score a touchdown with a new pair of ultra-comfortable running or walking shoes. Come to the New Balance Atlanta stores. I'm telling you, we'll make sure you have the perfect fit and we'll treat you like the starting QB. Visit the New Balance Atlanta stores in North Point, Sandy Springs, Toco Hills, and across from the Mall of Georgia. New Balance Atlanta. Experience the difference a custom fit makes today.
Hey folks, I'm Joe Hamilton.
And I'm Brian Finner, and here to talk to you about something serious.
Did you know that nearly 40,000 kids in Georgia try to commit suicide every year? As a parent, I can't think of anything worse than a kid that thinks there is no hope.
There's a lot of pressure on young athletes, and we need to make sure we let them know it's okay to not be okay, and even more okay to seek out help if they need it.
So we need to talk to our kids about how they're doing and how their friends are doing. We need to make sure they can talk to us and that there's always hope.
We need to teach them to leave stuff on the field, and if they can't, if it's too much, they need to know there is help.
Suicide prevention starts with all of us.
If you know anyone that's in distress, call 988 for assistance or go to PreventSuicideGA.org. Again, dial 988 or visit PreventSuicideGA.org.
We've got to take care of ourselves and our kids, and hope changes everything.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
The biggest election coverage in the South from Atlanta's only true conservative voice. As the election draws closer and things get heated, Extra 106.3 will bring you the voices you know and trust to sort through the muck.
The Democrats in the media are right about this. Republicans, they have the best ideas, but they can't govern.
And stream our coverage all day from anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app.
Here we go. 435 with the Kimmer Pete Flounder. And one of my favorite groups. I have a whole album of theirs on my Magic Music Stick my daughter put on for me years ago.
Sick and tired of everything. When I called you last night from Glasgow, all I do is eat and sleep and sing.
This is ABBA, of course.
Every show was the last.
ABBA 1980 scored their 9th and last British #1 single with Super Trooper. It was their 25th top 40 hit in Britain. The name Super Trooper, by the way, referred to the gigantic spotlights used in stadium concerts. There we go. They'll play that. It's not fun. I really don't know this song very well. I've got 2 or 3 of theirs that I think are really great. Fernando and a couple others. Anyway, 436, that's ABBA. Birthdays include, remember the TV show NYPD Blue? It was on, I guess, in the 80s, 90s. Kim Delaney was one of the hotties there. I remember her having a great set of wheels, a leggy chick. Kim Delaney, she has a boy's name. She's 62, so just for the record. And historical note here. Historical note. Flounder, we have a little historical note musically here today from 1980. Oops. And? Remember this? 1980 by the Vapors. Pop singles chart, top 40. And it may be a euphemism by the title here.
Yeah.
I pick on the singers, this instrumental version. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
You rule, I love you. I love me too. I see the spirit and there's nothing else to do. Oh, what's in color? Your hair is brown.
Your hair is brown.
Great lyrics. Your eyes are hazel. And soft as clouds.
Here it comes.
I often kiss you when there's no one else around.
There we go. Yeah. Sing it. Well, I guess they're never going to.
I started the song from the beginning.
Oh my God! Here it comes. There. I think I'm turning Japanese. My God. 1980 by the Vapors. There are people who say that turning Japanese is a euphemism for self-loving arrival because it's a description of the face that one might make at the time of the happiness of getting to your final destination, let's say. For all you families driving along with your homeschooled kids. At 438. Anyway, that was pretty bizarre. Speaking of pretty bizarre, I still can't believe this story, and I find it hard to believe, but it's apparently true. Indiana, an ex-con, 32-year-old Christopher Boyd, was riding in a vehicle that police pulled over in Evansville at 2 o'clock in the morning because he didn't have a license plate that could show up. So the cops pulled him over. The driver and the second passenger were released after police searched the vehicle. But when officers patted down this guy Boyd, they discovered a small bag with multiple pills in his right sock. He claimed the pills were Percocets he received from his aunt to help with the pain from having a bullet lodged in his spine. He also said he can't spread his legs because of his spinal injury. That's a key clue right there. While searching Boyd's groin area, Boyd tensed up. Cops say he was asked if he had anything stuffed in his groin or buttocks. He said, no. Of course, no, hell no. Well, they took him to jail. He was observed walking with a limp and clenching his buttocks when he walked. They put him through a body scanner, and there was a large object detected in the scanner in his groin region. They strip searched him and then found 2 plastic bags of marijuana tucked next to his scrotum. By the way, recreational marijuana is illegal in Indiana. Boyd tensed up, refused to comply, and was lowered to the ground when they wanted to continue the search. An officer took off his pants, and they found something all right. He was continuing to clench his buttocks, but the officer was able to see the object that Boyd had in his rectum was a gun. And they say it was not stolen. They confirmed it was his, and it was his butt gun. So, it was definitely his butt gun. It was a Smith & Wesson Bodyguard, a .380 caliber pistol, weighs 12 ounces, about 5 inches long, and has what's called a micro frame size, which is very lightweight, simple to use, and perfectly suited for concealed carry. I don't think they meant in your fanny.
Probably the smallest thing he's ever put in there.
Well, there you are. His previous criminal history includes convictions for attempted murder, burglary, and domestic battery. He's got a protective order out against him, serious felon, domestic batterer. He has multiple felony drug and gun trafficking charges, and he's being held without bond. A 5-inch, 12-ounce gun in his fanny.
Well, he got the terminology wrong. Someone said, I can't say.
There's a lot of ways we could go here, ladies and gentlemen. 441. Oh, dear
it's usually
God.
a crack of the gun we got to worry about.
Well, there you are. Oh, mercy. And now in Australia, and by the way, earlier today we played the soundbite of the Australian woman who says she regretted getting all these tattoos and they should raise the age to be able to get a tattoo. We'll maybe see what you think about that later on. I may do that for Gwen later on before we go. But there's another Australian deal making the news in social media now concerning taking selfies. And now there's an entire movement by doctors and academics in Australia and science and medicine leaders in Australia to declare that taking a selfie is now a public health problem. More and more reports are coming out about, especially women, young women, but it could be anybody, really. It's not fair to link that one thing, causing injuries and deaths from selfies. 400 cases over a 13-year period, 77 alone in America, of injuries or death from taking selfies in a dangerous situation. And now the public health problem, according to one risk expert in South Wales, said it requires a public health response. He said little attention's been paid to the selfie incidents through behavior change methodologies or direct messaging. He said research showed that if you have a no selfie zone barrier or a sign language, stuff like that, that may really not be enough. People kind of tend to ignore those. So he said we also should engage in direct safety messaging to social media users. Just recently in Arkansas, a 20-year-old student named Andrea Norton was taking a selfie on a cliff in Arkansas, slipped and fell 100 feet to her death. She was at the Ozark National Forest, a hotspot for selfies and hikers. In her obituary, family said she developed a genuine love for the planet and devoted herself to making a major impact in the preservation. She never lost her rambunctious approach to achieving her goals. Died doing what she loved. Having her body bashed among the rocks 100 feet down. A couple of months ago, a 21-year-old hiker fell to his death after slipping, taking a selfie on a mountain in Arizona. Another victim, Instagram star Sophia Chung, plunged to her death after she lost her footing taking a selfie at a waterfall in Hong Kong. The 32-year-old fell into the waterfall's plunging pool. 42-year-old cruise passenger in Florida, lucky to be alive. She fell 10 stories from the railing of the ship and luckily could hold on. Last summer, a 23-year-old American survived falling into the crater of an active volcano in Italy, trying to take selfie pictures in the volcano. My God, Coast Guard people warned people not in UK this year, don't get selfies with storm waves after a woman was photographed, got swept off her feet in front of a storm surge. Drowned. I mean, my God. 400 cases. They suggest that India is the most common country for selfie deaths and injuries. The most dangerous India, the second most dangerous country for selfie problems in America. Russia's number three. Wow. Number third. Sorry, I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, my.
I told you I got a toothache, and I know it's going to get bad, too. That's what's killing me. And I don't have any Percocet saved over or any. What was my. I've never done. I don't think I've ever done oxycodone, but what's the good one? Hydrocodone's the one that I use, and I took it once when I had a whole bunch of teeth things going on. And I remember I went out and played golf that afternoon and shot like a 74. I felt great, but I never felt like I was high, never felt any drug effect. I couldn't believe what a great pill it was. It took away the pain, and I never felt in any way affected by it. Which kind of was a shame, because if you're going to take drugs, you ought to be able to feel it. Don't you think? I mean, come on.
The great thing about hydro, it makes you feel like no matter what you're doing, everything's cool, man.
Yeah, I think
that's called opiates.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Now we're talking. It's 4:46 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder.
Yeah, so fell off the truck.
Yeah, there you go. What, you got any on you there, or what? Yeah, dude. A little something.
Neil Boyce is live every day on Extra 106.3. And if you missed the legend, you missed this.
Virtually every government spending program out there is on an automatic spending increase every single budget. When you talk about cutting spending, these politicians in Washington, both sides of the aisles, they will say, well, the Department of Snord has a 5% spending increase built in for next year. We're going to cut that back to a 4% spending increase, and then we're going to tell the people that we're cutting spending. And this goes on all the time.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
You know what? It's here, and it's cold. It's called winter. Is your furnace ready to make sure that your house and your family's health is going to be where you want it to be this winter? Is your furnace ready to make sure you're warm inside and you keep the cold weather outside? Well, if you're not sure, you need to talk to the folks at Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Central Heating and Air is one of the few second-generation locally owned HVAC companies in Atlanta. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and it's still that way today. Give Central a call at 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com. Central Heating and Air Conditioning can fix what ails your house and possibly your family with home ventilation and air quality products, Carrier warranty, Carrier peace of mind. Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta Carrier expert since 1947. Call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com. That's 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for a new weekly radio show, Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This week's guests are Jeff Wood and Zachary Hyatt from the Cobb County Neighborhood Safety Commission. Tune in on Saturday or find it online at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 770-627-3235 or online at atlbail.com.
Media Minute with Howard Kurtz. Many years ago, decades in fact, I wrote an investigative piece for the Washington Monthly with the headline, How Chip Carter Got His New Job. It was a lengthy story about President's political pal who had started this company and got contracts from the Carter administration And then, in what kind of looked like a quid pro quo, the president's son, Chip, later gets hired. Well, at Rosalind Carter's funeral yesterday, attended by the Bidens, the Clintons, Melania Trump, Chip Carter was the first person to speak. And of course, he looked older and grayer, and he told very amusing anecdotes about life under his mother, how inspiring she was. But he also said that she had gotten him out of drug addiction, which I had never known, and which he had the courage, I would say, to share with the world. With your Media Minute, Howie Kurtz, Fox News.
Tomorrow night, Extra 106.3 brings you Atlanta's exclusive coverage of the great red versus blue state debate between Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and California Governor Gavin Newsom. Hosted by moderator Sean Hannity, our exclusive coverage hits the air at 9 p.m. live on Extra 106.3 and streaming live on the Extra 106.3 app.
There we go. Look out. 450. With a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. On this day, 1976, the Sex Pistols were supposed to play a gig at Lancaster Poly, England, but the local council said, no, I don't think so. The reason was given in a statement by the local council in Lancaster, England, saying, we don't want that sort of filth in the town limits. Jeez. There you go. Anyway, not exactly a warm welcome for the lads from Italy, or England, wherever they're from. Let's see. This was Vin Scully's birthday. He died last year, one of the best sportscasters in all of history. The azure skies of Chavez Ravine. He retired in 2016, but he did play-by-play for the Dodgers for 67 years. Vin Scully. And birthday's Chuck Mangione, 83 today. When I was my news director in, what year? 1975. 76, I think. 76, 77. My news director was a former Marine captain, and he played the flugelhorn. And he actually brought it in one day and played for it. It's a funny-looking thing. And he said he played it because Chuck Mangione was one of his favorite musicians. Chuck Mangione's 83 today. He's a composer, musician, and master of the flugelhorn on the instrumental classic Feels So Good. If you don't know the name, you know that if you ever heard the tune, you'd know it. Feels So Good, Chuck Mangione, by the flugelhorn, which is like a trumpet, but between the trumpet and a French horn, it's a softer sound, a little richer, softer sound. But if you heard the song, It Feels So Good, you'd know Chuck Mangione, the flugelhorn. And this day in history, 2003, Bridget Fonda married Oingo Boingo singer and composer Danny Elfman. Danny Elfman's composing includes scores for Batman, Spider-Man, Hulk, Men in Black, Alice in Wonderland, and the Simpsons theme. Wow, I guess
Wait a minute.
That's what it says.
Danny Elfman?
Danny Elfman.
Okay, Danny Elfman is most famous for Nightmare Before Christmas now. In Batman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, he did all this stuff too.
Christmas.
Yeah, Bridget Fonda has those. I guess still has her hooks in them. I don't know. Maybe that's not the good way to put it. They're happily married. I think it was one way. 452. Probably couldn't afford to get rid of her. But seriously, it's. By the way, a couple of memes going around here after the church service yesterday for Rosalind. And by the way, finally the news did start covering those stupid, stinking, loving Hamas-hating Jew protesters outside the church service for the Rosalind Carter. My God, what a bunch of scumbags. Just shameful stuff. Anyway, there's a picture of the bowed heads of the Barack Hussein Putty-Tat divider-in-chief couple with Barack and Big Mike, Michelle, and then President Slimebag, the rapist Clinton, and Hillary Rodham Pastinky Fart Cabbage together. So it's the two couples, the Barack couple and the Clinton couple. And the meme is a Muslim, a transvestite, a rapist, and a serial killer all walk into a church. Or, how about another one? The same picture of the two couples together. Coming soon to a theater near you. 3 men and an old lady. The new blockbuster film. 3 men and an old lady. See what I mean there. Anyway, 453. Oh my God, we forgot something again. Flounder with this punch.
All right, here we are with some Seinfeld stand-up.
Excellent.
Now, the good thing about being out is you don't have to be out for long. Just long enough to get the next feeling, which you're all going to get. And that feeling is, I got to be getting back. After all the work you put into getting your ass where it is right now, you're only halfway through this nightmare at this point. Wherever you are, really anywhere in life, at some point, you got to get the hell out of there. You're at work, you want to get home. You're home, I'm working all week, I got to get out. You're out, it's late, I got to get back. I got to get up. I got to get to the airport. When are we getting on the plane? Plane takes off. When's the plane going to land? The plane lands. Why don't they open the door so we can get out? Nobody wants to be anywhere. Nobody likes anything. We're cranky. We're irritable. And we're dealing with it by constantly changing locations.
It's really, when you think about it, what a genius move that was. And if you have ever had the opportunity to see the making of Seinfeld, I forgot what they called it, but it was a documentary where he and Larry David sat down and talked about making Seinfeld. And basically, Jerry Seinfeld's attitude was, I think it was a true story. They were in a pharmacy one day together, and Jerry said, "My God, look at all the brands of aspirin. You got to be kidding me. How are you supposed to make a thing?" And said, "Oh my God, that's a bit." And it just went from there. But the fun part about this documentary was that Jerry Seinfeld is totally laid back. He said, "Well, the producers want us to come up with a script," and Larry David is saying, "Oh my God, I don't have a script. How am I going to get a script? How can I possibly come up with a script?" And so he's freaking out and he's going crazy. And Jerry's saying, "Oh, relax, we'll get it." Anyway, the chemistry between the two of them is absolutely hysterical. And then Jerry says, "Oh, by the way, we're supposed to do another 2 scripts." "Oh, he can't do any more script. My God! Oh my God!" I mean, it's really a funny bit. I forgot what it's called, but it's the making or the beginning of the Seinfeld show, and it reminds me of also when they were faking Jerry when he was in high school. He ran a race, but he cheated, and the guy he beat has always called him a cheat, but no one ever realized he was cheating. So they meet up one day in a restaurant 20 years later or 10 years later, and the guy says, "Oh, Jerry Seinfeld," and then Jerry has George come in and pretend he hasn't seen him in 15 years or whatever, and so they're talking about how Jerry's a great runner and a great racer, and so George says, "So Jerry, what are you doing these days?" He says, "I'm a comedian." "Oh, you are? You do one of those kind of like whatever happened to airline food kind of deals, making fun of him." And Jerry says, "Yeah, gee, so George, I noticed you lost a lot of hair in the last few." Anyway, so you got to admire the guy who came up with this whole stream of, what do you think about all these brand names and stuff? And it's still a genius. And I guess he's still working. He's still doing the funny thing in Cars or whatever it is?
Comedians in Cars. He does that.
Does he still do that?
He does that, and he still does stand-up. I mean,
you got amazing. Is he still married to that girl that he stole from the guy?
That I'm not sure about.
Yeah, he got sued. Remember, a guy got married. Well, Jerry Seinfeld was involved with that 15-year-old girl with a size 44 triple D bagungas.
She wasn't that.
Oh, she was enormous. She had enormous fellas in Zulagalawangas. Enormous. Beautiful young girl. She was like 17. And then they broke up after many, many, many years. Anyway, and then a guy gets married. And he goes to his honeymoon. They come back from his honeymoon. His wife goes to work out, and Jerry Seinfeld picks her up. Jerry Seinfeld hit on and picked up a newlywed who had just been married, picking her up at the gym, apparently. And when it happened that she finally said, "Oh, my God, I wish I hadn't gotten married," and started hanging around with Jerry Seinfeld, the guy sued Jerry Seinfeld for loss of affection and won. And I wonder whether they're still together. But can you imagine a woman just off her honeymoon falls
he's
in love
married to Jessica Seinfeld, who he's been married to since '99, and she's an author and philanthropist.
Well, with his philanthropy, I'm guessing.
With 3 children.
Wow. Well, I don't know if that's the same one that cheated from her husband at the health club or what. But anyway, well, if they're still married after 20 years, congratulations. I'm happy for you. 24 years, whatever. 458. What's the matter? You okay?
That's Flounder, you got that sound yet?
Yes, I do.
Uh-oh. What's going on? Something secret.
All right, yes. So this is
Biden has done it again.
I'm sorry?
Biden has done it again. Earlier today, he was visiting a warehouse or a factory and talking to reporters and people, and this is what he had to say.
Oh.
This is Nick. Hey, Nick. This is Nick Reality. Now, look, my Marine carries that. It has a code to blow up the world. That doesn't. This is not nuclear weapons, is it? All right, okay.
Oh my God! What he said? He said, "Is this the button to blow up the world?" He's
talking to some workers. He says, "My Marine carries he has a code to blow up the world, nuclear weapons."
Jesus. Oh God! Yeah, that's our president, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, he's got to be a laughingstock around the world.
I mean, he is a laughingstock around the world.
I mean, it's outrageous.
He's a dangerous laughingstock.
Yeah, this is a long way from funny. I mean, it's not amusing as a sweet little old man trying to make jokes with kids at a party or something. Here comes Uncle Harry at Thanksgiving table or something. This is really pathetic. All right, well, coming up, we have less pathetic stuff, including Holy Crap at Sports, which is quite the opposite, actually. And hold on, Pete's tweet. We did tweets. We'll do more comedy. We got everything coming up here with the Karen, Pete, and Flounder. Almost 5 o'clock. Holy cow.
The Kimmer Show is back every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. only on WFOM Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. Extra 106.3 FM.
16 more are free. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The Israeli military just confirming that Hamas has released 14 more people, 4 Thai nationals and 10 more Israelis, including an Israeli-American hostage.
An Israeli-American named Liat Benin, she's 49 years old, was kidnapped from her kibbutz with her husband, who remains in Hamas captivity.
Fox's Nate Foy in northern Israel. The now former hostages also include 5 teenagers. This follows the release of 2 dual Israeli-Russian citizens earlier today on the 6th and final day of an extended temporary truce unless talks on further extensions are successful. Pro-Palestinian protesters gathering again in New York City, where a large crowd is also expected for a tree lighting.
There is no specific credible threat to New York City or to tonight's Rockefeller tree lighting, but the NYPD is anticipating protesters that will try to disrupt tonight's event.
Fox's Brian Yanis, hundreds of barricades and other security measures in place. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says rising anti-Semitism is a crisis.
The solidarity that Jewish Americans initially received from many of our fellow citizens was quickly drowned out by other voices.
He says it's alarming to hear a terror attack characterized as justified, calling out fellow liberals on the Senate floor for praising Hamas. Sentencing day in Texas for a man who tried to burn down a synagogue 2 years ago.
10 years in prison for 19-year-old Franklin Seacrest, plus almost $500,000 in restitution after he pled guilty in a 2021 arson attack at Congregation Beth Israel in Austin. He was arrested after surveillance footage connected him to the crime, with federal prosecutors saying the hate-filled act of violence against a house of worship was an attempt to sow fear in the Jewish community.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. America is listening to Fox News.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-887-1010. That's 800-887-1010.
Born from the tragedy of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is committed to helping our nation's heroes and their families in their darkest hours. They provide mortgage-free homes for fallen first responder families, Gold Star families, and catastrophically injured veterans and first responders. In 2023, they are providing housing assistance and services to more than 2,000 of America's homeless veterans. Do good and never forget 9/11 or the sacrifices made by our nation's heroes. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right of blank. Ready on the dog target. Road guards out. Look out. It's only TV. It's only the Giver. How's it going? 503 with Pete Davis and Flounder, and it's a humpity hump on a Wednesday deal for you. But here's a phone number if you want to join us. Love phone calls. 404-741-1230. 741-1230. A lot of things going on here today. Holy Crap at Sports is coming up. We got comedy bits. We got various things and that might entertain you and have a little fun with you, including some actual newsy stuff, which I'll do in a moment. First, and by the way, I didn't hear anything at the 5 o'clock news about an update on the baby. Which I'm kind of surprised. The word at 4 o'clock, they did a story that said that 10-month-old baby we told you about yesterday with their family, with the Hamas murderer butchers, Jew haters, transferred that family with a little 10-month-old baby to another site where they're holding hostages, because that's the site that the Jewish president says we're going to go start attacking as soon as the hostage deal is over. So they're hoping to move the baby and the others to this new site so they wouldn't get attacked, because they use babies as human shields. And now the word came out at 4 o'clock an hour ago. The baby was dead and the family was dead. And the theory was that if that's true, that they're going to blame the Jewish soldiers for rocket attacks to actually kill their own people or something. Again, it's just it's such a freaking nightmare. And now we're going to get testimony from. By the way, I thought this is pretty interesting. See if you find a common denominator here, which tends to be a little interesting. The presidents of 3 of the most prestigious schools in the land are going to testify before Congress in a few days over the shocking rise in Jew hating and anti-Semitism on their campuses since the attack by the Hamas murder butchers. Summoned before the Education and Workforce Committee of the House are Dr. Claudine Gay of Harvard, Liz McGill of the University of Pennsylvania, and Sally Kornbluth of MIT. Notice anything in common? They're all girls. And countless examples of anti-Semitic demonstrators on their campuses, and basically have stood by, allowing horrific rhetoric to fester and grow, according to the chairman of the committee, a girl named Virginia Fox, who's a Republican. And according to the Anti-Defamation League, there's a marked, we all know the anti-Semitic increase around the country. We just did right now in New York, they're out again. The hate the Jew protesters, pro-Hamas people are out again all over New York City right now. They've been roundly criticized on college campuses, and MIT failed to follow through with threats to suspend the students who participated in unauthorized anti-Israeli protests. The reason that the girl president failed to suspend the students who were doing all this is because the school is afraid that the agitators could be deported. And God forbid they don't want to deport the little sweeties just because they hate Jews so much that they're willing to have them burned to death. But God forbid you should kick them out of your campus or kick them out of the country. It's just amazing. Again, I can't wait to see what they're going to testify to next week. How they're going to justify all this. Well, freedom of speech, you know. Oh, that's right, too. That's how they'll do it. And a CIA officer got caught, too. Have you heard about this? A top-ranking CIA official, the deputy director for analysis, a girl, has now posted on her Facebook page multiple images of pro-Palestinian flags and comments since 2015, and she posted these on her Facebook page the other day. A screenshot of a man wearing a Palestinian flag around his neck and waving a larger Palestinian flag, and the agents shared a selfie with a superimposed Free Palestine sticker, just like the one saying from the river to the sea, which means burn all the Jews and get rid of them once and for all off the face of the earth. The woman has not been identified other than by her ranking, which is a high-ranking director for a deputy director for analysis. And the CIA says, well, the officer is a career analyst not intended to express a position on the conflict. She had previously overseen the production of the president's daily briefing, where they give them the intelligence report that's in one daily briefing to see what's going on in the world. And now the CIA says, well, officers may have personal views, but this does not lessen her commitment to unbiased analysis. Oh, really? Where she's a pro-Hamas, Jew-hating CIA operative? You don't think that'll affect her daily briefing with the president or anybody else? Dear God. No. Well, personal things, that would never, I honestly, I don't believe it. 508.
If you've never read Revelation, you may want to start.
Honestly, I don't understand. Now, we're not at the stage yet where the world's going to explode, but still explode. I still don't understand why God isn't sending little, dart messages of some kind. Raining frogs or something. Fire.
Supposedly, part of the end time is that the Muslims start killing a lot of Jewish people.
Well,
that's one of the signs.
That was October 7th. Mark it down when we start flying out of our cars, hopefully going upward. I'll say,
wait. What's this week, Kemosabe?
You got to turn your pocket. I know I'm doomed. Doomed. Well, like I say, Marines don't die. We just go to hell and regroup. But I get to guard Heaven's Gate. It's in the song. Marine Corps hymn, guarding Heaven's Gate. So I get to get up there. It's almost 5:10 here with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Holy Crap of Sports coming up. What's your next Holy Crap of Sports podcast? Did you? I'll bet you just did one because you disappeared all morning. I didn't know what. I thought you maybe got frozen out up there and your phone line froze.
No, I was working on the Starlink thing, trying to get in 14-degree weather, trying to get it to work while I was out in my house shoes. I don't recommend standing out on a damp, frost-bitten ground in house shoes.
Well, you should probably get someone to help you out there with that. Just a thought, spitballing. 5:10. A Texas mom, a 38-year-old Ashley Ketcherside, has lost her job with a school district where she was working with methods at grade levels, appropriate methods for teaching human sexuality instruction near Fort Worth School District. Unfortunately, some of the parents found out that she is on social media advertising scantily clad images of herself as the true girl next door while working for the school health advisory council. A wide range of health education protocols for kids, including appropriate levels of a curriculum for instruction regarding sex trafficking. She also leads a local cheerleading group, volunteers on multiple district panels, family and community engagement committees, and planning stuff. Not anymore. She's been canned from all of it. Parents found several of her profiles where she identifies as Lola, where the expensive escort notes she is well reviewed and warns, if you make a date with me and you don't show up, you get penalized $3,000. Holy cow. That's what it costs for an escort, is $3,000 for a week? Or I hope it's not for like 2 hours.
I don't
What are you looking at me for? Oh, my God.
I'm pretty
at least 2-3 months.
Escorts don't hang out for a week.
I mean, is like an overnight thing?
I would think that, or some type of hourly rate. Because an escort's, if you think about it, what an escort is, they're not for a long time.
Yeah, but isn't that like what they call the girlfriend experience, where you take her out to dinner and you go to a movie and then you make love and then
no,
she
that's
the next
different.
day?
Escorts, either you want to have something nice looking on your arm to go to some event, or you're looking for sex.
I got you. Anyway, she says if you don't show up, it's $3,000. Holy moly. She said, I have a new permanent in-call in Dallas and Fort Worth, minutes from downtown. In-call, which means you go to see her there, I guess. While escort sites, this is interesting. In Texas, escort sites where you sell companionship and time, escort sites are legal in Texas, but prostitution is not legal. She's been busted of selling sex twice, known as Lola Brea.
And it was some bust, let me tell you.
Boy, it's some bust.
It was quite impressive, yes.
Very impressive indeed. Well, let me help you with that. Anyway, 412 and Holy Crap at Sports is coming up with a Kimmer Pete at 5:13, let's call it, with a Kimmer Pete. I'll get it right here in a minute.
The Morning Extra is the right way to start your day. And here's what you missed.
There are tens of thousands of protesters in France. There are tens of thousands in other countries. Why don't you get on a plane and go right to Gaza and sit, and why don't you give them help? Why don't you go tell Hamas enough's enough? Exactly, because they're safe. They're in their little, I'm in my safe space.
The The Morning Extra. Now every morning from 6 to 10 a.m. Only on Extra 106.3.
It's the Subaru Share the Love event. So put a little love in your heart this holiday season at Subaru of Gwinnett. You're going to love the full line of new Subarus in stock now. From the Outback and Forester to the Legacy, Crosstrek, and BRZ. Each Subaru built to superior safety standards to protect your loved ones. You know, it's a fact. Subaru owners show a lot of love, especially to the environment and those in need. So right now, during the 2023 Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru will donate $250 to your choice of charities with any new Subaru lease or purchase. Visit Subaru of Gwinnett for complete details and log on to SubaruofGwinnett.com for amazing lease and financing offers on all new Subaru models. This holiday season, drive a Subaru and share the love, and Subaru will pay it forward with a $250 donation to your choice of 5 charities. Subaru of Gwinnett, Satellite Boulevard, Duluth. Subaru will donate $250 to purchaser or lessee selected national and hometown charities. Log on to Subaru.com/share or call 678-475-3500 for details.
The 15th annual Polar Plunge is coming, and we need your help. Right now, you can help raise money for Special Olympics Georgia athletes to provide year-round sports training and athletic competitions in a variety of different sports. All participants will collect pledges from friends and family in exchange for the opportunity to jump into the icy waters of Ackworth Beach in the middle of winter. All proceeds will benefit the 17,731 athletes of Special Olympics Georgia. To sign up and learn more, visit SpecialOlympicsGA.org.
December 6th, the final GOP debate of the year is on News Nation, America's fastest-growing cable news network. SiriusXM's Megyn Kelly, News Nation's Elizabeth Vargas, and the Washington Free Beacon's Eliana Johnson moderate a live primetime event from the University of Alabama as the candidates make their case to America on the only network for all America. The News Nation Republican primary debate, live December 6th, 8 Eastern. To find News Nation on your TV, go to joinnn.com.
The legend Neil Bortz sees only on Extra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
The plumbing system. Compare that to spending. If we were to stop all or most of this government spending that goes for programs way beyond the constitutional powers of Congress, the shock to the system could be devastating. You have to shut these little spigots off one by one, carefully, so you don't destroy the system. Yes, we've got to slow down the spending, folks, but methodically and slowly, not in the rush that Matt Gaetz and his crowd would approve. That way we save the system, can start renovating it and making it stronger.
Bortz weighs in with commentary every day and is live with the Morning Extra on Tuesdays. Atlanta Talk Radio legends are only on Extra 106.3. The Kimmer Show, live until 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3. And start your day the right way tomorrow morning with the Morning Extra from 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3.
I just realized if I make it to 5:13, I made it. My whole life changes. It's the damnedest thing on the radio. It's unbelievable. Also, I have 2 sports birthdays and 2 sport history notes. I'll bet Pete's going to mention one of them because now it's time. Without further ado, holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
Well, the Braves are losing another coach. It's the third one that's going to be leaving. Yeah, bullpen coach Drew French is leaving to become the Orioles' new pitching coach. So congrats to him. That's
well, yeah, but gee, cool. Good for him. But wow, stop being so good at what you do, all right?
I know. That means you're doing it right. Yeah. Reports have the Bravos as one of the finalist teams to trade for White Sox right-hander Dylan Cease, who lives here in Atlanta. He's pretty good, actually.
Okay.
So I wonder what they'll do with that. The latest college football playoff committee rankings from last night have Georgia number 1, followed by Michigan, then Washington and Florida State. Oregon is 5th, Ohio State at number 6, Texas 7, Alabama 8th, Missouri 9, Penn State 10, and Ole Miss at 11, which means my Rebels would be in the 12-team playoff if this was next year.
Yeah, no, well, anyway, that's a lot.
Well, actually, the final poll will be out on Sunday, so you got all that other stuff. But
now,
anyway,
any thoughts on whether Alabama's going to try? They're going to try to make sure Alabama gets in there at the Final Four. Or is that just out of the question right now? And also Ohio State, for that matter. I'm kind of surprised the Ohio State thing too at 6.
if things fall against them, Alabama could actually win the SEC championship and not make the Final Four. That's what some people are saying. It's going to be very bizarre what shakes down this Saturday because the championship games are this Saturday and Friday night.
I heard Tony Kornheiser.
Pac-12 is Saturday.
I'm sorry. I heard Tony Kornheiser say that if Alabama beats Georgia, he thinks both of them would still be in the Final Four.
It might, even though I don't pay any attention to Kornheiser when it comes to SEC football. But anyway, Kirk Herbstreit, employed by ESPN, is assuring we common folk that the sports giant in no way controls who gets in the college football playoffs.
Oh, no. Please.
No. Kirk also pointed out that inflation is down and the troop withdrawal from Afghanistan was so well executed, it was like D-Day in reverse. Just 12 years after being chased out of Arkansas in disgrace, former Razorbacks head coach Bobby Petrino is back in Fayetteville as the Hogs' offensive coordinator, heavy emphasis on the offensive part.
Yes.
As Michael Katz on Twitter says, if he isn't at the intro press conference in a neck brace, what are we even doing? Remember when he showed up with a neck brace and his face was all mashed up?
Well, his motorcycle with his girlfriend on the back of it. And that's it. Oh, boy.
And a sign that maybe things aren't all that bad going on. Ticket demand for the Army-Navy game at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough is greater than any AFC title game and greater than the Taylor Swift concert back in May.
Whoa, say that again. For the Army-Navy game.
Army-Navy game. They're getting more people wanting tickets than they did for any Patriots AFC championship game or Taylor Swift back in May.
Wow.
That's pretty good there.
And
By the way, they're holding it in...
Yeah, where is it?
It's in Massachusetts because you got the 250th anniversary of the Boston Tea Party and the 225th anniversary of the USS Constitution's first voyage in which it sank the Titanic. Who do you...
I'm pretty sure I saw that on my history book. I'm almost positive.
Who do you think has the upper hand in the Army-Navy game history?
Well, I know a little something about the Army-Navy game, which was one of my historical notes, but I will not say anything until the end of your sportscast in case you're saving it for later. I'll bet you, unfortunately, the Army has won more, but originally the Navy won them all. But I'll bet you, if you add them all up, I didn't look this up, but I'll bet you that Army's won more.
I'll go Navy.
Although, Bellino and Roger Staubach, and they had some real superstars over the years. But I would always go for Navy with any answer, but I know I'm probably wrong.
Staubach was in the Navy, wasn't he?
Yeah, and Bo Bellino I think he won the Heisman, or he was one of the greatest running backs of all time.
I thought he was Army.
Navy. No, he was a Navy guy.
Army.
I don't think so.
He was Navy? Oh, okay.
I believe he was Navy.
All right.
And Staubach was Navy.
Well,
so I'm
once again, you prove you do know a little something, but not the right something, because Navy leads this series all time.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
62-54 with 7 ties.
Yeah. The last several years, I think Army's been a lot better than the Navy, but that's good to know.
Well, they've kind of split the last 5 or 6 years. They go back and forth a little bit the last few.
Well, good. It's going to be a great
Utah State Aggies quarterback Levi Williams is set to give up his final year of eligibility in order to join the U.S. Navy SEALs, saying he wants to protect our great country.
God bless him. I tell you that if you want to be a Navy SEAL, you better be freaking dedicated. They drown you. They let you drown when you're learning how to do things underwater stuff. They actually you drown and then they bring you back to life.
Sounds a little risk.
A little risky. That's true. Yeah. I mean, I'm not making that up.
Congrats to Falcon safety Jesse Bates III, named NFC Defensive Player of the Week for the second time this season. And that win over the Saints, he had that pick 6 for 92 yards to turn the game around. Then he forced a fumble that later became an Atlanta touchdown. Had a game-high 12 tackles, and through the 11 games, he leads the Falcons with 85 tackles, 4 interceptions, and 3 forced fumbles. The 4 picks ties his single-season career-high total with 6 games remaining. I'd say he's been a pretty good investment as the free agent coming over from the Bengals.
And we're talking about, again, mention his name, and people who just joined us.
Jesse Bates.
There you are.
The third.
Congratulations. Great to
Just 11 weeks after blowing out his Achilles on national TV, Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers has been cleared to practice. He may even play against the Falcons. No, I don't think that'll happen, but you never know. Now, this may seem very quick to you.
Yes.
But team doctor Oscar Goldman says the $6 million operation allowed the team to rebuild him bigger, faster, stronger. No.
Wait a minute. $6 million surgery? Is that what you're telling me? And for what could possibly cost 6? Oh, I get it. Sorry.
It's a Steve Austin.
No. Yeah. $6 million.
Dr. Oscar Goldman.
I got it now.
Andre Dawson has sent a letter to the National Baseball. That's twice in one show.
It's just too easy. It's just too easy.
An hour here.
Make it more difficult or something.
It's like tipping over a White House Christmas tree.
Yeah, there you go. There she goes.
By the way, Babylon B says they saw a MAGA hat wearing squirrel leaving the scene right afterwards.
Yes.
Andre Dawson sent a letter to National Baseball Hall of Fame chair Jane Clark asking to change the cap on his plaque from the Montreal Expos to the Chicago Cubs, a decision by the Hall he disagreed with as soon as it was made 13 years ago. Players used to make the decision through the 2001 year, and the Hall took over then because of what Wade Boggs allegedly tried to pull in 1999 with Tampa Bay. The Devil Rays offered to pay him to pick the D-Rays logo instead of the Red Sox, which most people know him under, and the Hall said, no, you're going in as a Red Sox, which is why this sounds like a bid for, Dawson to sell more stuff to Chicago fans. Sorry, Andre, you will always be a Montreal Expo more than a Chicago.
The Hawk, wasn't he the Hawk?
MVP there.
Yeah, he was the Hawk, right? Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
And he blew his knees out playing on that bad turf up there in Montreal.
Right.
But he's an Expo. Sorry. The Hawks lost in Cleveland last night, 128-105. And just when you think the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift nonsense cannot get any worse, now comes word that Harvard, already on their way to becoming a joke, is offering courses about Taylor Swift, including studying her relationship with the football star.
Oh, for God's sakes.
How much money do you spend every year to go to Harvard?
$86,000, I think it is, something like that. 92,000, somewhere in that area. 78,000, 82,000.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Imagine sending your kid there, and this is what they're
and by the way, there's got to be some of the politicians are trying to start it, but there's got to be a serious discussion one of these days about why go to college. What are you getting for all that money and the supposedly 4 years? I mean, just isn't there a better system for people to get into a business for their future by doing something other than spending all that time on that money that you'll never be able to pay back? Anyway, it just seems to me we're doing it the wrong way, and it's time to start thinking about it because this is getting stupid. Now that it's getting so woke and un-American. Anyway, I'm sorry I interrupted your whole thing there, but
it's all right. No. Turns out the young Chiefs fan labeled a racist by the scumbucket Deadspin race baiter Karan Phillips is actually Native American.
Are you serious?
The boy had his face. No, his grandfather's a big wheel in one of the California tribes. Yeah.
Oh man, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
He's Native American. The boy had his face painted both red and black, and after CBS only showed the black side, and the lefties went nuts, but now the video is out of Kansas City players doing the tomahawk chop with the young child right there next to each other.
I love it.
And Dan Lebitard, who's still around somewhere apparently, actually defended Deadspin for attacking the kid.
Oh, come
and then
on,
pictures surfaced. Dan. No, pics have surfaced of Lebitard wearing a black and red face paint himself just last year.
Well,
now he's defending himself wearing it. Of course he is, just like Jimmy Kimmel defends himself for wearing blackface when he was making fun of a basketball player.
Yeah.
It's okay if liberals do this. The rules they force on everyone else does not apply to them. I hope that kid and his family sues Deadspin out of existence. And by the way, Chiefs fans are organizing to wear red and blackface paint to their next game in a massive show of support for the little boy.
And by the way, when I saw the coverage on this last night on TV, thank God the anchor people said, and of course, in Kansas City, the calls for the tomahawk chop are rather loud and resounding, and they showed the stadium en masse, every single one at the top of their lungs doing, the whole state. I mean, boy, talk about the tomahawk chop. Holy smokes, they'll never get rid of that in Kansas City as much as the liberals are going to try. It was awesome. I mean, it was 150 decibels, and everybody in the stadium was chopping their arms while they were singing the chant. It was really spectacular. I hope that kid makes $10 million. He'll never pay for college if he's going to school. I think this is going to be great. He's an Indian. Oh my God, that's hysterical. Good for him. That's fantastic.
On this date, November 29, 1966, the Braves get Clete Boyer from the Yankees in exchange for outfielder Bill Robinson and pitcher Chichi Olivo. And Clete Boyer, after Brooks Robinson, my second favorite when I was a kid, third baseman. Why I wanted to play third base, because he was so good. And me and a girlfriend were up in Cooperstown around 1999 or 2000, just wandering around that beautiful little town, and walked into a baseball card collecting shop, and the only two people in there were Clete Boyer and his son. And I got to sit there and talk to them for several minutes. They couldn't have been nicer, and they spent a lot of time, and Clete was alive, down here in Conyers. They lived down in Atlanta a lot.
I didn't know
and
that.
would go up to Cooperstown and sign for card shows and stuff. Couldn't have been nicer. What a gentleman, Clete Boyer. And I sure do, miss watching him play as a kid.
I loved his name, Clete. I thought was just, and I've never heard of another person named Clete. And it's a great name for a guy. It's a great guy's name, I think. Don't you think?
Clete. Him and his brother Ken Boyer of the Cardinals. They were a great duo right there. Yeah. And on this date, 1971, the Reds get this: Joe Morgan, Cesar Geronimo, and Jack Billingham from the Astros for Lee May, Tommy Helms, and Jimmy Stewart, the player, not the actor. That was a hell of a trade.
Boy, I guess. Morgan? Holy moly.
Yeah. Let's face it, Cesar was the center fielder after Bobby Tolan wasn't there and he got hurt. Jack Billingham was probably their best starting pitcher, but Lee May was a really good player, and Tommy Helms was a pretty damn good player too.
Birthdays include Mariana Rivera, 54. Russell Wilson, 35. He married Sierra, I guess a singer and rapper or something. Also, in 1890, Pete, West Point, New York, the first Army-Navy game. Establishing the obvious ranking that sticks to this day, Navy beat Army 24-0 in the first game, 1890. And on this day in 1992, the NFL game between the Jets and Kansas City, Dennis Byrd of the Jets gets clobbered with a neck injury and is paralyzed. 1992.
But what's the name of the military game? What's it called again?
It's called the Army-Navy game. The Army losing to the Navy game.
The Army-Navy game.
The Army losing to Navy game. Hoorah, Semper Fi. 5:30 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Look
Go
out.
Army, beat Navy.
Navy. My God, man.
With international conflicts running hot and Israel at war, you can trust Extra 106.3 to bring you the latest breaking news throughout the day and the conservative voices you trust for all the latest.
Hamas is a terrorist organization, and anybody who supports the terrorist attack on Israel should be released from this country and sent away.
Israel at war, with live updates all day.
If 9/11 happened to us again today, I wonder what the hell the reaction would be.
From Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
The Atlanta Braves are proud to congratulate superstar right fielder Ronald Acuna Jr. on being named the 2023 National League Most Valuable Player. Ronald amassed 41 home runs and 73 stolen bases during his historic regular season.
And it's home run number 40. He's fired up going around the bases.
Come see the MVP in person at Truist Park next season. 2024 tickets go on sale December 1st. Atlanta Braves Baseball for the A.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, right here on Extra 106.3, Atlanta's all-conservative talk station. Each Saturday and Sunday at noon, you can catch my show where we talk about all the issues, local, national, and global. If you miss an episode, you can catch all my content at the Podcast Park, where I put out new episodes of the Ben Burnett Show on Tuesdays and Thursdays, featuring long-form interviews with the people who create your perspective. Thanks for listening to Extra 106.3, Atlanta's all-conservative talk station. See you around, Atlanta.
Step into the great outdoors with Realtree. Hi, I'm Bill Jordan, and I'm here to tell you about the incredible experiences that await you and your loved ones. Nothing brings families and friends closer than the great outdoors. At Realtree, we've dedicated ourselves to creating quality products and experiences that enhance your outdoor lifestyle. And did you know, Realtree is proudly based right here in Georgia. Our roots run deep here, just like our passion for hunting, fishing, and everything outdoors. Whether you're an experienced hunter or a novice angler, Realtree has everything you need to make your outdoor adventures a success. From assortment of gear and apparel to expert advice and tips, we've got you covered. Visit Realtree.com to discover a world of possibilities. Whether you're planning your next hunting trip or looking for the perfect fishing spot, Realtree.com has all the information you need. Realtree helps you connect with family and friends and make memories that will last a lifetime. Realtree, family, friends, and the outdoors.
Hey, it's Los here with the legend herself, Rhonda Duffy. And Rhonda, how does Duffy save sellers so much money?
So home sellers, let me ask you, is it fair for you to pay the whole 6% commission if you find the buyer? Why fund the agent's retirement versus your own? With Duffy Realty, you can list and sell for less than 1%. Real estate made simple for millennials to the daughters of the revolution. Anyone can use Duffy Realty.
Okay, so when the market slows down, how are you helping your sellers on that front?
I want to ask, have you ever considered a lease purchase or a rental on your property? You know, this is like being a fisherman and casting a wider net on the other side of the boat that catches all the fish. And that is one of the many benefits and rights that we give Duffy sellers. Casting a wider net means that you're on the market for sale, lease purchase, and rental to see what opportunities are there.
Get the most out of your home sale with Duffy. DuffyRealtyATL.com.
DuffyRealtyATL.com.
We all expect our home to protect everything we love, but here in Atlanta, we don't expect the ways water breaks down our basements and damages our homes. Mold, cracks, of course, visible water. Just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. Free home inspection from AquaGuard. They put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at aquaguard.net.
No best for being better. AquaGuard.
Tomorrow night, Extra 106.3 brings you Atlanta's exclusive coverage of the great red versus blue state debate between Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and California Governor Gavin Newsom. Hosted by moderator Sean Hannity. Our exclusive coverage hits the air at 9 p.m. live on Extra 106.3 and streaming live on the Extra 106.3 app.
This was the strangest. Sing the title. Come together, baby. On this day, 1969, actually two things happened on this day. In 2001, on this day, George Harrison died at a friend's home in L.A. He was 58. That was 2001. And on this day in 1969, the Beatles went to #1 on the singles chart with their 26th release in the United States, Come Together Something, which became their 18th U.S. #1. John Lennon was inspired. This was where the Beatles started. The late 60s, it was pretty. 69 was pretty much the ball game for the Kimmer Beatles. Lennon was inspired by Timothy Leary's campaign for governor of California, titled "Come Together, Join the Party" against Ronald Reagan, and that gave John Lennon the idea for the track "Something." It was the first Beatles song written by George Harrison to appear as an A-side.
And the Lennon track, he got in trouble. Leary sued him.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Reagan threw Timothy Leary in prison or jail because of the drug stuff.
Right.
So he couldn't run against him. And so he didn't use the song. So Lennon said, okay, I'll just release it anyway as a Beatles song. And Leary got mad at him. He said, hey, look, if you buy a suit from me and you don't come pick up the suit, then I'm going to use the suit.
Well, I'll be damned. Well, that's a great story. Let's see. Birthday list. I'll say here the hideous Rahm Emanuel, President Putty Tats, the Divider-in-Chief's chief of staff from 2009 and 10, then Mayor of Chicago from 2011 to 2019. Rahm Emanuel is now Biden's ambassador to Japan. Got one of the cushy thanks for what you do. He's 64 today, Rahm Emanuel. And Joel Cohen, one of the Cohen boys, is 69 with his brother Ethan. He wrote and directed Fargo, which, by the way, is on again. It's on quite a bit now on HBO or Showtime. Once in a while it pops up. He also wrote and directed, Joel Cohen, 69, wrote and directed Fargo, Raising Arizona, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, and The Big Lebowski. And the Coen brothers are very creative, gifted. And on this day in history, 1981, I had such a thing for Natalie Wood. Inside Daisy Glover.
Wood for...
boy.
Wood for, I was about to say, you beat me to it.
Yeah. 1981, Natalie Wood drowned in a so-called boating accident off of Santa Catalina Island.
Sure.
She was on the boat with Robert Wagner, her husband, for the second time. They got married, divorced. They got divorced when she got caught having sex with Warren Beatty. And Natalie Wood also had to have sex with one of her producers when she was in one of the bad girl movies. And the producer, or director-producer, said, "We're not sure you can play a tough girl part, so you come over here and let's see how you react with me." And they had sex with her to make sure she could stand up to a tough girl role. She also was pimped out by her family to have sex with Frank Sinatra when she was 15.
Well, her sister, Lana, claims she was raped by Kirk Douglas.
Right, that too. And also on the boat, when this happened in 81, she was on the boat with Robert Wagner and Christopher Walken, and she was suddenly missing for 6 hours when they discovered her floating face down in the water off the boat. Well, later evidence apparently has come through with some testimony that Christopher Walken heard Natalie Wood having a horrible fight with Robert Wagner and that he pushed her off the boat. They found her with wounds to her head. And the story was now that there was not an accident after all. It was, not premeditated perhaps, but a roughhousing and anger and fighting thing that led to her death, which would be homicide.
They asked her if she wanted to take a shower on the boat.
No, what'd she say? Or just wash up on shore, maybe? Or, yeah, probably. 5:40 now with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Do we have a phone call? By the way, I got in trouble for the whole all Puerto Ricans are Cuban thing. But do we have is there an actual caller over there? Or did I blow it?
No, we have Michael on the line, and he wants to piggyback on one of Pete's stories that he told during Pete's Sports.
Well, there's nothing better than piggybacking Pete stories. So piggybacking Pete with Mike. How you doing, buddy? What's up?
Hey, Kimmer, I love your show. Yeah, so I grew up in Orlando, Florida, and I used to cut Jack Billingham's parents' grass. He went to Winter Park High School, and as well as I did, he was there a couple of years further than I was. But
yeah, cool. Now,
his parents were the nicest people.
Yeah, did you know him as an athlete? Was he a star athlete back then that you thought he was going to go all the way, or was he just a good kid with a good fastball or something?
Well, he was a lot older than I was and my brother, but he was idolized in Winter Park High School.
Yeah, I'll bet. That's a great family, fun to be with. Confirming what Pete said, just a really nice guy.
Super nice guy, and his parents tipped well.
Outstanding. Well, they're good. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. 541 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder.
That's where my mom went to high school.
I'm sorry. Your mom?
Where my mom went to high school, Winter Park High School in Florida.
Really? Wow.
That's where I was born.
Well, there you are.
In high school?
But this is incredible. What an ironic.
I only lived there for a week because my parents were in the process of building a home here in Atlanta. So I was born on August 7th, and I moved to Atlanta on August 10th.
I'll be damned.
A Floridian in our midst.
Yeah.
By the way, that's 2 straight days I've told a story in sports, and somebody has called up and
that's a good sign.
They had a little thing with it.
That's a good sign. You're communicating with the little people. No offense, of course.
Excuse me?
Thank you. Well, it's a Kimmer, I got to say that way. I got to say little people, come on, you're killing me. Also, I got, the other day I mentioned, I swear to God, this was on Final Jeopardy answer. That I may have got it backwards, but I got in trouble a little bit. I got a comment here from our buddy Robert, the B-Man, and he says, hey, Kimmer, my wife was the first official Cuban Kimmer Babe with a Kimmer Babe t-shirt. Yes, she had a few comments about your all Cubans are from Puerto Rico comment, but he said my Spanish isn't very good to translate for you. Now, I may have gotten that backwards. I mean, it's either all Cubans are originally from Puerto Rico, but not all Puerto Ricans are from Cuba. Or it might have been, it's either that or Jamaicans. Like all Jamaicans are from Cuba, but not all Cubans are from Jamaica. I'm sure one of those is true. I'm almost positive. Or not. Also, I have a little quiz thing for you. Think about this, boys. This popped up on my Facebook screen this morning. You're in a high-speed chase. What song is playing in your car? Flounder, the cops are after you and you're going 130 miles an hour. What song you playing?
Give Me Some Lovin' by Spencer Davis Group. Born to Be Wild.
Some of the reactions are: Deborah says, "I can't drive 55." Dave Dudley, 6 Days on the Road. Radar Love by G-Man.
Yes, that'd be a good one.
Becky, The Legend of Bonnie and Clyde. And one of my favorites, Roxanne, Indiana Wants Me. Remember that song? Indiana Wants Me. Lord, I can't go back there. Oh, my God.
No.
Pete Davis, what would you be playing?
Breaking the law, breaking the law. You'd have that one going. And then you'd have to have I Fought the Law and the Law Won.
Yeah, there's another one. And they do the 6-shooter, too, which was pretty cool. First time I've ever had, I remember a 6-shot revolver being part of the chorus, and I Fought the Law and the Law Won. Very cool. Anyway, I would definitely have something by Christine and my friends at Fleetwood Mac.
That's a good thing. Put together a good driving mix. Like, what would you like?
Yeah.
Fast tunes.
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to try to bring in my music magic stick tomorrow and see if you have any free time. I got a few more songs I want to put on there, including Rhinestone Cowboy that we played yesterday, and I talked about my daughter Jennifer asking for that when I was on the Radio Boy, and so among others I'll be. And also I'm going to do a couple of sweet ones. I think one by who's the little chubby chick who won America's Idol and said they really sang song
Kelly Clarkson.
Kelly Clarkson, something about being on the wrong side of the street, and something about being hurt all the time or something. Her boyfriend.
So gay.
Oh yeah. I happen to like music. Yeah, blow me a kiss. How about that?
Blow me a kiss.
Oh, mercy. Anyway, and by the way, speaking of love stuff, real quickly.
.106.3 is proud to bring you Atlanta's exclusive coverage of the great Red versus Blue State debate. Hosted by moderator Sean Hannity, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, and California Governor Gavin Newsom go head-to-head live from right here in Alpharetta as they sound off on the biggest issues surrounding their states and the country at large. Our exclusive coverage hits the air at 9 p.m. live on Extra 106.3 and streaming live on the Extra 106.3 app.
Some choices are complicated, like do I get peanuts or popcorn? Thankfully, others are much simpler, like rooting for the Braves. And choosing Truist One checking. No overdraft fees. Lots of perks you can cheer for. And when your account balances grow, you get upgraded automatically. Oh, and with more than 130 Atlanta branches, you can add convenience to the list of perks too. Truist One checking. One simple choice. Branch count as of May 31st, 2023. Atlanta metro area. Truist Bank member FDIC.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for a new weekly radio show, Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This week's guests are Jeff Wood and Zachary Hyatt from the Cobb County Neighborhood Safety Commission. Tune in on Saturday or find it online at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 770-627-3235 or online at atlbail.com. Does the colder weather have you looking looking for indoor sports? Have you tried pickleball? Ace Pickleball Club in Roswell specializes in optimal playing experiences with entirely indoor facilities, professional-grade cushioned courts, and streaming video on every court. Memberships are all-inclusive. Open play is offered all day, every day, with courts divided by skill level. Ace Pickleball even offers free classes for beginners and provides all the equipment. Ace Pickleball Club. Join now, play forever. Check them out at acepickleballclub.com.
It's only a matter of time before your out-of-warranty vehicle is in the shop, costing you thousands. Hey, it's Glenn. If unexpected breakdowns happen, are you going to be ready? You can be with a plan through CarShield. CarShield offers protection plans to fit every budget. Call CarShield right now. Save 20% on your plan. You'll always be prepared. It's 800-227-6100. CarShield.com/Beck. 800-227-6100. 800-227-6100 and save 20%.
The legend Neil Boortz is only on Extra 106.3. With daily commentary you'll hear throughout the day. And he's on live with the Morning Extra every Tuesday morning at 7:30. Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3. And catch all of Neil's commentary on the Extra app.
Another good one. Scott recommended this one. There's a high-speed chase on. Yeah, bring a banjo and you're gonna be all right. Yeah, boy. Giddy up, go, little darling. What's this song? Do we know this song? That is Jerry Reed, Eastbound Down.
Jerry Reed sounded like Jerry Reed. I should have known.
Scott recommended that one.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Jerry Reed. What an entertainer he was with Clint Eastwood and those guys back then.
Hey.
Man.
That was from Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah.
What was the beer
Jackie
that they were
Gleason
going for?
What was the what? The beer? Oh, God.
The beer that they were transporting back to Atlanta.
Oh, I can't remember. I don't know.
Remember, you couldn't get it east of the Mississippi.
Rolling Rock? Couldn't have been Rolling Rock. They weren't even
No,
there.
I said beer. I said beer, not horse piss.
Coors.
Coors.
Yeah,
Coors.
And you know what? Rolling Rock came from my memory of Jim Fry, the manager of the Chicago Cubs. And when I was there in Wrigley Field every day for a day game in 1984, and covered the Cubs. And after the game every day, the reporters would go into Jim Fry's office. He was a manager back then. Dennis Green was a GM of the Chicago Cubs. We'd go into his office, and he had a tub, a big metal tub iced down of Rolling Rock in bottles, Rolling Rock beer, and we would suck that stuff. And I remember it being very crisp and light. It wasn't heavy syrupy beer like German beer, but it was crisp and light and cold as hell, and we loved it. After a game and having that beer with Jim Fry in his office telling stories, let me tell you, that's a bucket list.
I would drink that. I would get a 12-pack every now and then in high school. Rolling Rock.
It was.
But you could get Schaefer.
Oh, Schaefer, yeah, Schaefer. Remember? Oh, God, Schaefer. What were some of those other like New York State? Pabst Blue Ribbon, Strohs, and Pabst Blue Ribbon PBR.
Schlitz Gay.
Schlitz. My first beer I had when
Falstaff.
Falstaff. When I was in Cub Scouts, and they threw me out of the Cub Scouts after we did our jamboree in the Adirondack Mountains because of what I did to my Cub Master. My first beer I stole from I found the Cub Scout Master adults had some beer in a tub, icebound beer, and when they were looking, I stole one, and it was a Schlitz, and that was the first beer I ever had when I was like 12 years old. Was a Schlitz beer from the Scoutmaster's tub. My God!
My grandfather gave me a sip of Falstaff when I was like 8 years old, and my mother hit the ceiling.
I'll bet. Anyway, are you playing music? Is this our rejoinder here? This is Stones here, Flounder? There we go. Well, a couple of things on this day in history. 1965, the Colorado governor, John Love, declared a Rolling Stones Day throughout the state as the Stones appeared at the Denver Coliseum in Colorado for a North American tour in 1965. And also, speaking of the Stones, it was 1950. No, wait a minute. Oh, here we go. In 1979, Keith Richards' common-law wife, Anita Pallenberg, was cleared of murder charges in the shooting death of her young male companion. Anita died, by the way, in 2017, but she was cleared of the murder charge. Holy moly. Another history thing, Flounder. We have a musical history note here, if you don't mind. You have one last left, I think. Here we go.
The shark fin
dun, dun.
has such teeth, dear.
Bobby Darin.
And it shows them
because in 1959, the Grammys aired on TV for the first time, 1959, and Bobby Darin won the Best New Artist, and he won Record of the Year for Mac the Knife, which was the damnedest song. And was it about a gangster killer? What was the actual theme of it? A murderer for the mob or something, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Maggie the sheep, the teeth, deer. Oh my God. Let's see. Birthdays include Jerry the King Lawler, the brilliant WWE announcer, it says here. In September 2012, he had a near-death heart attack on the air during Monday Night Raw. Jerry the King Lawler's 74. Today, actor Andrew McCarthy is 81. Oh, no, 61. He was in Elmo's Fire, Pretty in Pink, Less Than Zero, Weekend at Bernie's, Mannequin. And Anna Faris, the actress Christy from Mom, and horror girl Cindy Campbell in the first Scary Movie flicks. And Anna Faris is 47. Anyway, just some stuff there. Bobby Darin, great song. Just in, by the way, I'm checking this on my phone. Money laundering investigator warned of Hunter Biden's unusual and erratic payments from China in 2018. He tried to warn everybody. A bank investigator for detecting and combating money laundering warned of the erratic activity, more than a dozen wire transfers, huge sums of money, all belonging to Hunter Biden. An email released by the House Oversight Committee today, he said, "We were worried about this, didn't appear to correspond to any services rendered, as well as Chinese efforts to target children of politicians." The investigator suggested the bank start reevaluating its relationship with Hunter Biden. The payments from China ultimately landed $40,000 to Joe Biden from his brother, labeled loan repayment. Remember, heard about this story? What loan? What loan was that? They just call things loan repayment so they don't have to justify it. Well, a bank secrecy manager told the assistant vice president and bank manager about all this stuff and the names, and the bank manager redacted the email dated June 26, 2018. We've been monitoring subject customer due to the investigation observations, high entry risk. The politically exposed person, meaning the individual or prominent position, could be more susceptible being involved in bribery or corruption. Since the initial funding of $5 million from the Northern International Capital Holdings Limited, which is a Hunter Biden business loan thing, there was no loan agreement at all, the investigator wrote. He said the funds in the account primarily funded 16 wires ranging up to $400,000, totaling $3 million. And the redacted name and to a Wesco PC law firm, all controlled by Hunter Biden. And, of course, we know the money went elsewhere, too. I mean, here we go. And, again, this is very complicated. And remember, they were bragging that no one's ever going to catch up to them. So, anyway, you were around.
Yeah, so this is very interesting and some excellent audio. So, Elon Musk was speaking at a New York, what was it here? New York Times Deals Book Summit with CNBC Andrew Ross Sorkin, who started asking him about certain advertisers have been boycotting.
Yeah, because he supposedly let bad things in, so the advertisers say we can't be part of that kind of deal.
Classic Elon. Take a listen to this.
Excellent.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go yourself. But go yourself.
Excuse me. I mean, talk about ungettable. I mean, you can't. Oh my God! Play that again. Play it again. Just, ladies and gentlemen, Elon Musk.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go yourself. But go yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob.
Hi, Bob. I mean, that's the ultimate blank you money.
That's right.
He's got blank you money.
Yes, he does. And again, I don't know why. Well, I do know why, because of what's going on with the culture these days, not only in America but obviously around the world too. And this international stuff, they're trying to ruin him. They have from the first day. And luckily he can't be, what are you going to do to him? But still, the man's a savior. He almost single-handedly has tried to disrupt the swamp taking over free press in America.
Did you see what he did in Ireland? Basically, some Algerian went on a knifing spree and killed a little boy. Yeah. So people, got together and did a parade, a riot, not a riot, but some kind of protest against it. And the Irish government tried to arrest them for protesting the Algerians stabbing everybody. And you said Conor McGregor spoke out. Well, they're trying to pass a law now because Facebook and Instagram went along with their censorship. And Twitter and Elon Musk says, no, I'm not going to censor people. They're trying to protect their homeland. I'm not going to censor them.
Again, it was all a setup, this business with him allowing pornography or brutal, vicious stuff. That's crap. People are trying to set him up and then go into the advertise. Oh, did you hear what he said about you? You're right next to this porn. There's this horrible stuff. You can't have it. Oh, my God, we have to cancel that now. I mean, it's all set up. It's all fake. It's all made up. And the man is a savior. Elon Musk has done more, not only for the issues of going to space and a world thing. I mean, stuff you have to start thinking about because he's, AI. He's one who starts warning us about, what's going on in the world. I mean, the man is a genius. We know this, and half nuts. Also, we know this. But still, he's been a savior for things like free press and the freedom to express and get rid of all the shutdown censorship from the government and stuff. My God. And of course, they're going after him. Anyway, boys, great to see you. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. Gotta go. You're killing me. Pete and Flounder. See you tomorrow, boys. Herb and Herb and the Golden Bachelor tomorrow night. Oh, goody.
Start your day the right way with Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra. Every morning from 6 to 10 a.m. on WFOM Marietta Extra 106.3.
People freed. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. 14 more people, including an Israeli-American woman, have been released by Hamas.
9 Israeli females are included in this group, including one as young as 13 years old. Gali Tarchansky is her name. 5 teenagers as part of this group that is on their way to Israel right now after 54 days in Hamas captivity.
Fox's Nate Foy in northern Israel. 4 of the former hostages are Thai nationals. They are now in Israeli territory. It's the 6th release under a ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas. Israel is to release 30 prisoners later today. The ceasefire is set to expire early Thursday as international mediators try to extend the deal. Pentagon spokesman General Pat Ryder says the release is good news.
We're happy that these individuals will be able to be reunited with their family members and loved ones very soon. But something we'll continue to monitor very closely.
And Ryder says the Department of Defense remains in contact with Israel to make sure it has what it needs to defend itself. An annual tradition in New York City in just a few hours, the lighting of the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree, though this year's celebration may be disrupted.
The NYPD is anticipating pro-Palestinian protesters to try to disrupt tonight's event. People are starting to make their way into tonight's event. Hundreds of barriers here where people will be penned out outside in the sub-30-degree weather out here for the next few hours as they wait for this Christmas tree to be lit.
Fox's Brian Ennis in Rockefeller Center. At least one person is dead after U.S. Air Force Osprey crashed during a training mission off the southern coast of Japan. On Wall Street, stocks drifted to a mixed close. The Dow plus 13, the Nasdaq off 23. The S&P lost 4 points. America is listening to Fox News.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free. explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-887-1010. That's 800-887-1010.
Born from the tragedy of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is committed to helping our nation's heroes and their families in their darkest hours. They provide mortgage-free homes for fallen first responder families, Gold Star families, and catastrophically injured veterans and first responders. In 2023, they are providing housing assistance and services to more than 2,000 of America's homeless veterans. Do good and never forget 9/11 or the sacrifices made by our nation's heroes. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
Paul Whelan, the retired Marine imprisoned in Russia, has reportedly been attacked by another inmate.
The incident, first made public by Dave Whelan, Paul's brother, was confirmed by Russia's prison service. According to accounts, Paul Whelan was punched in the face at the high-security penal colony where he is serving a 16-year sentence on an espionage conviction. Whelan has denied that he spied on Russia. Russian officials say guards stepped in to break up what was called illegal actions. Dave Whelan says he believes the attack on his brother is the result of anti-American sentiment, which he says is not uncommon where his brother is being held. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Arizona Attorney General Chris Mays says officials in rural Cochise County who delayed canvassing the 2022 general election have been indicted by a grand jury on conspiracy and other charges. A settlement agreement has been reached involving a massive class action case over toxic forever chemicals.
Chemours, DuPont, and Corteva have agreed to pay the state of Ohio $110 million to resolve claims associated with toxic forever chemicals. Chemours said it would be responsible for half of the settlement costs, while DuPont would provide